is, folks and gentlemen, we're your hosts, Roy Gravis, Bucky Pender. Mike Wright's in the hot seat.
What's
it's
up?
Blythe. Ayo. Blythe's in the house. Good job for
What's going on, Blythe?
How's the weather up there in Oklahoma? Is it as cold as it is here?
I think we were the coldest part of the nation.
Dude.
Yeah, I saw a thing. I think I was telling Bucky this. Like a stat popped up, like Beaumont, some city in Mississippi, and Florida, were the three coldest cities, or the most snowfall, is what it was in any city in North America, including Canada.
Babe, I think it was.
Crap.
I think it's not Babe. It looks like Babe the way it's spelled because it's Babbie, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Had 11
Bebe.
inches of snow.
11?
11
Wow.
inches.
Yeah, because I had asked Emiliano.
Lafayette had 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Emiliano was on Instagram with us last night,
Right.
and I asked him what Austin got because I figured it's only 4 hours away, right? They had to get hit with something. No, he was like, not much of nothing. It was cold.
Yeah.
But
no, we
like
had-
just, a very thin layer, but
We didn't get no 11 inches here.
No, I think I measured mine. I think I got right at like 5.5.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe
That's
6.
about what I
we
heard.
floated
from
right
the-
around 4,
Yeah.
like pretty steadily. Where
My
I
poor
measured.
car.
But it was
So that first morning, I took the wife's car because the wife was like, hey, you want to take my car? I'm not going to work today.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. My poor car.
Oh,
had
yeah.
Ice all over the, like snow all over the top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I drove all the way to the Silsby store with just covered in snow. Like it wasn't coming off, it wasn't moving.
Yeah. I was getting out Wednesday morning to see if we could
Shellbait. It's a shellbait.
start driving around.
Why is there Dickel tobacco on the table?
Oh, we got to turn it around.
This is why.
Making his broadcast debut is our buddy Clint with his Tickle My Dickle Tabasco finished Dickle.
I'll pass them both.
If he shows up in the comments, I will take a drink of this. If he shows up in the comments.
Yeah. He's probably working.
Probably.
Don't
Yeah.
ask questions, Jake. Hey, it's a little old-fashioned again.
Hey,
we like
what's
that
going
guy.
on, buddy?
He's becoming a regular.
I know.
I like it.
Getting a little
I
bit
like
of a
it.
YouTube
I
following.
like it. So I have 3 cigars.
Okay.
Okay.
Dealer's choice. I have a 1875 Romeo y Julieta 150th Kentucky Derby,
Okay.
an Aganorsa box press, and a Heart of the Line Roar.
The box press looks to be the smallest.
It is.
So,
So you're going to take the
yeah,
box press.
I'm going to take the box press.
All right.
Bucky. I know what you
Oh, I don't
want.
care. That's fine. It don't matter to me.
I knew what you wanted.
If I'm not mistaken, I may have gotten you
Did
that
you
one.
give him what he wanted?
No, we still haven't turned out the lights to play What's in Your Box.
He's never gonna
He
give
has
me
not.
what I want.
No. It's not happening ever on this
Been asking for 3 years now.
It's been asking for 3 years.
We just got slapped with a new rating on this.
TVMA.
Very much. Bam! There it is. Slapped with a new rating.
Oh look, hey, what's going on, Kevin?
Oh, somebody tagged.
Hey, it's a Clint, but the Dungan,
Yeah,
not
it's
the
a
Denver.
Dungan, not a Denman.
What's up,
But the
Clint?
Denman was tagged.
Yes.
Kevin?
So hopefully, if the Denman sees it, I will. Yes, I will drink.
All
this.
he's got to do is comment
Yeah.
one
Yes.
time.
All he's gotta
and
do is
Somebody's
Roy-
texting him right now.
Oh,
Roy-
If
We'll
y'all
drink
aren't,
it.
you should be.
Yes, absolutely.
They're like, hey, we done found out the fat guy with the black backwards hat is
Yeah, he's gonna drink
he's
it.
gonna drink it if you comment. And I'm waiting for it while I'm
Oh
checking
man,
the label on this
that's funny.
very gorgeous 150th anniversary of the Kentucky Derby. But this thing's like footed and all kinds of shit. This
I
will
know.
take me a little
It's
bit to get
fancy.
this one. It is.
If I'd have known, I'd have brought mine because I bought 2 of them, one for you, one for me.
Right.
I'd have brought mine, but yeah, I want to know how it is, and then I'll smoke mine.
Romeo and Julietas are usually pretty good, so I'm not going to be disappointed with this one, I'm pretty sure. Unless I can't get into it, then I'm going to be 9 kinds pissed.
So we have a question right off the bat. Clint's curious of where the Wild Turkey Russell's pick is.
Ooh, yeah,
Do you have any information? Because I got plenty of pictures whenever y'all were on that trip, and I know we all know how big of a fan of Wild Turkey Clint is.
Yes.
So you know he's dying to get it.
Oh, damn, Jeff Durant's in there. What's up,
Hey,
Jeff?
what's going on, Jeff?
Jeff Durant.
Snowflakes? Yeah, we snowflakes, or are you saying we got snowflakes?
We got snowflakes. That's what everybody
I was just wondering if he's calling me a snowflake.
When I find out about that Russell's pick, Clint Dungan will be the first person that knows about it.
Yes. Yes, he will. 100%.
No information at all.
None.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah,
Zero.
just waiting. So
So what is Is there anything as far as store picks that people can expect that are coming up?
Ooh, wait a minute. We're talking Longhorn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I do have breaking news.
I know.
And you have the same breaking news, but we're gonna let Mike do his thing first.
Because we all know how good the Longhorn picks are.
Of course.
We dropped that first half of the barrel, those Weller Full Proof and the Buffalo Trace. Still waiting on that Blanton's barrel to come in that we picked at that same time. Obviously the Russell's pick. I just found out that we had that Elijah Craig pick hit. We got a Maker's pick that will be hitting very soon that we were supposed to have by WhiskeyFest that didn't quite happen, but they've got that coming. Still Austin pick. Jeff's in the comments.
Yes, there will be one hitting.
Cody Rogers went out and did that pick with them back, I believe that was in November.
I don't know how much I should trust Cody Rogers' palate.
I mean, it is an Alabama palate.
No.
He's a still Austin guy through and through.
No,
I'm loves
excited.
that. I think they did a rye pick.
I was going to say, do you remember if they did a rye? I couldn't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was a cast strength rye. So
I'm anxious to see that because, you boys, along with Sips at the Lodge and
there it is,
Chuck Bradley. Hey, I'm a man of my word, if nothing else. Let me get this thing going.
That did not take long. Thank you, Clint.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Clint, and whoever texted him.
Yeah. Another one I'd gotten asked about. We released a Old Forester store pick in the Houston market a little while back. Is that one going to be? I was asked if it was coming to Beaumont anytime soon. Or?
Yeah, we're sitting on that one. It will be released soon as well. We still debating when, if, whatever on a drop.
Right.
We didn't have our big drop that people have come accustomed to around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had quite a bit going on.
I hate it here.
But we'll see if
Something might come up.
Yes.
Something might drop.
Yeah, something might drop. But we definitely got some new store
My
picks
taste
that will
buds,
be
maybe?
coming out.
Okay, so Jeff did confirm it was a cast strength rye,
Yeah, thank you,
which
Jeff.
is going to be awesome. Excited
Yeah,
about that one.
I got a little sample of that. And
Did you?
It was
Get myself in these
fantastic.
predicaments.
Yeah.
All right, you got to do it like a real review.
That's fine. I can do that. That's not that big. No, you're making me do a review.
I mean, I just figured if it was
Oh
me,
my
I'd have
God.
just shot it, like be done with it. What's going on,
Interesting.
Brett? Brett's in the comments, buddy from up north.
The nose is interesting.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. It's like a cinnamon, spicy apple type thing.
I mean, I like Tabasco.
I do too. That's what I told Bucky. I like Tabasco and Cholula, so
Yeah.
it's good coloration. It's very yellow.
And yes, Shelby, I do
Very
agree.
straw.
That,
Yeah.
Very
that
straw,
RD1
very
Dunkel
yellow.
was one of my favorite pours of that weekend. Are you having fun back there?
You look like a big choo-choo train.
Snoop Dogg ain't on set. Come on now.
You definitely get the Tabasco on the back end.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's there. It's actually,
Not bad.
Come
I've
on.
had worse. I've had worse.
I've had
I will
worse.
say that. I've had
All right.
worse.
Everybody's famous last words.
It's
I've
not
had
that bad.
worse.
Would you like the little remnants there? Or are you
I mean, I'll
good?
try it. Why not?
I mean, he's in
If
the
you
comments.
did it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he did.
he commented. It's
So
not bad.
I guess the question is, how did Clint's face with his tongue sticking out end up on a bottle of a
That's a good
Dickel
question.
That is a great
Tabasco?
question.
We got to get him a different hat, though.
Our buddy Shelby is the one that so graciously shared this bottle with me.
Yeah.
And I did say that if we got it, that I would allow Clint to make his broadcast debut.
Broadcast
So
debut. I love it.
he's officially on the show.
Yes, he's officially on the show.
I don't know if they can find this bottle in stores anymore.
It's actually not. The sad thing about it
that-
is,
yeah,
it's,
the Tabasco.
Yeah, I thought it got
It's not
discontinued a couple
terrible.
years back.
That Tabasco is very present
yes,
on the back
it's on the
end.
back end. No, 100%.
Wow.
100% on the back. Wow.
Well, neither one of you seem to hate it.
I mean, I don't.
I've had worse.
Yeah, I've had.
Cool.
And it's definitely I mean, that Tabasco on the back end is really weird, but I don't know. I mean, if this is a single barrel pick, I might share it with friends.
Can we marinate a steak in it just to see how that would do?
That might work.
Yeah, that may work. So yeah, back store picks. Man, I don't know if I can think of any. I mean, obviously the turkey, the makers. But the Old Forester will be released, like we talked about.
That's a good one.
But
That's a good one.
yeah, we got yeah. I mean, our new Garrison Brothers single barrel pick,
those will be coming out
which is hazmat. So everybody knows how big of a fan of.
Vitamins
And I got to
and
give a
hot
shout
sauce.
out to Pat Bell. He, y'all know, or we've talked about
Yes,
Pat
we've
before,
talked
and he
about
said
Pat.
he was going to provide y'all with a pour of Cowboy.
Yes.
And I was actually at his place a while ago, and he did offer, but all I had was like a plastic Tupperware container to put it in, and I'm like,
It's
I
fine.
don't know how to put Cowboy in.
No, it deserves better.
Yeah.
I don't feel you could do that.
So I said,
Tabasco.
I let them know you
Flintstone
offered.
vitamins. Wow.
I mean, I don't know. It's not the worst thing I've drank. I'm not
There
going to
should
lie.
be a lot of good.
Like,
store
I've
picks
always
coming out
heard
and
the
stuff.
Flintstone vitamins, and
Are you a
fine to
Dickel
me.
fan?
Yeah, it don't bother me at all. But I've never had Flintstone vitamins, so
Really?
I don't know what that comparison is.
Interesting.
So, but
Well, I was a Flintstones kid, so
yeah,
yeah.
I was mashed potatoes.
There you go.
Steak and taters.
Steak and
taters.
taters. That was,
There you go.
but
We got a Michael Perez. What's going on,
Hey,
buddy?
yes, the Perez. I saw his post on Facebook about getting in a snow fight with a mountain lion and got a cut on his cheek. Got to go back and look at it. It was kind of
Wow.
interesting. Yeah.
Um,
Slowly questioning. First of all, don't question our palate, sir.
hey,
Do not question our palate.
yeah. I mean, I feel like I have a decent palate
We have some good stuff.
most of the time.
Yes. We
Yeah.
actually, to go back to Cody's Still Austin pick, we have a Still Austin pick that's about to drop in the near future
I was aware.
through Silbach.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
In
aware.
the very near future,
Very
actually.
yeah, because they're supposed to be dumping that thing Monday.
Yeah, so they're dumping
They're
our
dumping
barrel.
the barrel
Oh, okay.
Monday. So we're not far off.
When will that be available for purchase?
We're
that
not sure
We're
yet.
not 100% sure yet.
I know my glass is empty. We got to at least
We
fix
do.
that.
So where?
Yeah. So where do you wanna
where are
start?
we going? Are we going with some of your stuff? You want to go lazy?
So
K?
graciously brought some samples.
Man, I
did. I see that.
I
Pre-show mentioned he picked up the Lazy K.
Yeah.
And great job picking it up during the 15% off sale at Longhorn Liquor.
Took advantage of that. I have another questionable thing. I'm not going to review it on the show, but the wife talked me into getting it's an apple redneck Riviera because everybody I've talked to, like I talked to Eric, I talked to her.
honey apple.
Yes,
I think. Yeah.
that one.
Really?
They both had it at WhiskeyFest. There was
Okay.
Grace has had it before. I talked to
So
her.
they've tried it.
They've tried it.
It wasn't
They-
a blind buy.
They told me real quick. They're like, it's better than the original. And I was like, I hope so because I've ripped that original
So-
for 3 years now.
I don't think we've ever done like an actual flavored whiskey on the show,
I
have
don't
we?
think we have neither.
That would be a first.
We have one, yes.
I mean, we could try it at some
could.
point.
I started to bring one.
Oh, you have
You
one?
did.
I was that faux fireball.
Faux fireball.
It's probably best that we leave it
According
on.
to Jake, Sarah liked it too. So
Okay, so there's
it's gaining some
multiple-
tractions on it.
Yeah, Michael Perez said, "What are we smoking tonight?"
So we've got a heart of the line roar.
Yes. Mike has an Aganorsa leaf box pressed.
What
And
he
then-
said.
And then I have a Romeo y Julieta 1875 150th Kentucky Derby anniversary.
That's not how I would pronounce that name. I would say Romeo and Julieta. Like I'm a Shakespeare guy.
Well, yeah, but it's also Spanish, so that Y stands for E, sir. Romeo y Julieta. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I say we start with the Lazy K. That's
I'm in.
that's front and center. It's a beautiful bottle.
It is
Oh,
a very beautiful bottle.
And in addition, I brought the Old Elk Cognac cask finish.
Oh, nice.
It was by far one of my favorite pours of the evening.
Man,
That was a good one.
So I'm excited about it.
Speaking of Old Elk, is there going to be a
We talked about it a little bit today.
Old Elk sighting in the near future?
We kind of need to figure that. I probably need to get with Jesse about that. We'll figure it out. We'll have some more discussion about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming this, with the pick that went on at WhiskeyFest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that sounded
Damn,
I think,
you can assault somebody with that top.
yeah.
Not only the people that were involved with that pick, like, Old Elk's getting a lot of
Yeah.
Good hype coming out of WhiskeyFest.
I was trying to get a jacket, but they don't make them for the otherwise fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some good swag out there.
There
this
was.
year.
I'm so glad. Apparently, Ryan Bingham listened to me, I guess, because I'm going to say this. The Bingham hat last year would not fit my head.
Yeah.
The Bingham hat this year fits my head.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm pretty sure it's
happened.
the same hat.
No, it's not. Because
I have both of
year's
them.
If you notice, last year's has a single row of buttons or dots or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, okay.
This year has a double row, so the hats are different.
So
I do know that.
I'm curious of your thoughts whenever you try this, because a friend of ours from 10th Mountain informed me that he is almost certain that it's wild turkey juice.
Okay.
So I'm curious of your thoughts.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll kind of work through this and see.
It's out of Big Timber, Montana. I know that much. So
Bottled
Sure not the same
in Big
hat.
Timber, Montana.
Jake
Bottled.
agrees. It's not the same Bingham hat.
yeah, I don't think it is neither. I think it's a total different hat, based off the buttons alone.
The nose is nice. It's very
nose is nice.
Very sweet, almost like
You can tell it's a corn
Bubble
whiskey.
gummy?
Yeah, I mean you can tell it's a corn
I
whiskey.
got a whole decanter set at WhiskeyFest from Jack Daniels.
Very
Dang,
nice. Look at that.
Shelby, I'm hanging out with you next year.
Right?
Got a whole ass decanter set.
They had one over there.
Did they? I heard they were.
They had
pouring,
that like coffee table that got built
Yeah.
out of that Jack barrel. It was
the guy that won it, or his wife won it. He came into the store that Monday and he was like, "We won the table."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's freaking awesome."
Yeah.
But he said before that, his wife had looked at it and kept bragging about how pretty it was and how much she would love to have it. And he said by the end of the night, her number got called and they were super ecstatic. So
Yeah.
that was really cool.
I can
Yeah.
see where our friend from 10th Mountain would think that on the palate. But I don't think it is 100% no. It's very similar, but I don't think it's 100% wild turkey juice, no. I don't.
Definitely would go with a rye mash bill.
Yes.
And it's 8 years old? Is that what it is?
I think aged 8 years, 94 proof, 92 proof, sorry. Straight bourbon whiskey, Lazy K bar. I'll pull some.
I mean, you add 10 more proof points to that, and it makes a world
Yeah.
of difference.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
it's very sweet.
Very
Yes.
sweet.
Dessert sweetness. You know,
Easy.
no-
I mean, it's easy sipper.
just basic, straightforward
Yeah.
bourbon.
Gorgeous bottle, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's
And it
a
smells
great
like,
bottle.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
smells
the
like
bottle
if y'all
is-
can't see it on
yes.
the camera, it's got like a hammered,
yeah.
texture
a
to the
hammered
glass,
yes.
and then leather over the top. That topper,
That topper's
you can kill
about-
somebody.
yes.
You shoot that out of a
Yes.
musket or something.
Yes, 100%.
Out of a musket, really?
So according to their actual website, it is a blend of 8, 9, and 10-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. Sorry.
Okay. So it is out of Kentucky.
Our whiskey
Yeah.
starts with a nose of caramel and toffee, and the aged honey character, opening up to a sweet toast and malted grain characteristics, complemented by herbs and spice notes.
I didn't really pick up too much prominence on
I
the
didn't
nose.
either.
No, just the nose was very
yeah.
sweet.
The aromatic complexity evolves into dark spices of clove and cinnamon with a hint of apple and a rich, round mouthfeel and balanced natural sweetness that finishes with a pleasant warmth sensation.
I mean, I don't think they're too far off.
I don't think they're on either.
No.
I mean, it's a good one, though. I mean,
Yeah, nothing wrong with
And
it.
it's a great conversation piece. Like I
Yes.
said,
Great looking bottle.
Great looking bottle, great
If you're a Cole
conversation
Hauser
piece.
fan.
Yeah,
of
and I think that's
Yellowstone.
I think
see,
that's
the
a big draw
Yellowstone,
to it.
I'm with you. I think the Yellowstone thing is a big kind of draw to it. Like,
Sure, I
it's
mean,
so many people love
There's
that
like
show.
5 bottles on the shelf now that's attached to a
it is.
Yellowstone
It is a
character.
heavy bottle, too. I walked
Yeah,
out of
very.
Longhorn on Dallin with this thing, and yes, it is heavy.
It's absolutely it's a gorgeous bottle.
It is a gorgeous bottle. Not bad,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. I remember
Kinda glad
when
I
they
bought
came
it.
out and they tasted us on that, and we got the whole spill. They're very passionate about the product.
Good.
And that was my I was expecting to just not really like it.
Right.
Just because that lower proof
Right.
that's usually falls a little flat for me. But for $100 at that proof was what worried me.
Yeah.
Taste
But-
it. Tasting Panel Magazine gave it 98 points out of a possible 100, so they were kind of high on it.
So when my wife found out that A, we carried it Longhorn, and B, who was behind it, her first question to me was, okay, so when are y'all going to have Cole Hauser out? Whoa, honey, slow down.
Wait, slow down.
I was like, I don't know nothing about. I don't know.
That's not how this works.
Yeah, that's going to happen at some point.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that was, we did a good little investment, brought the product in. That's actually had one of our bar and restaurants that we service brought that bottle in. It's done extremely well at the bar level. I mean, at a very premium price,
Let me take a stab at Avenue Axe.
You nailed it. Yeah.
I love the guys at Avenue Axe. Man, they're great.
They've really, the whiskey selection they have
their
down
selection is rivaling one of the
if
top
anybody
ones in
out
the
there
area.
that did not get their hands on a bottle of Tanager, Still Austin Tanager.
I got to taste Tanager.
It is fantastic. Amazing. And that's at Avenue Axe.
Yes.
Go down there and
go
get
by
you a
Avenue
pour.
Axe. And so whenever we went out to Avenue to make a delivery out there, that was the first time I'd been there. And you kind of explained how it went from just an axe throwing place to an actual like sports bar. Yes. And then you got to talking about some of the cocktails they're creating over there. Obviously, I've seen some of their liquor orders. I mean, they're putting like real thought and artistry and greatness behind. Like they're wanting this thing to be amazing. And from everything I'm hearing, there's no reason it shouldn't be.
Mauricio, he's a true mixologist, and I think he's one of the best bartenders in Southeast Texas. And he's coming up with some crazy cocktails, and I'm just blown away. Of course, I'm not a mixologist, so it probably doesn't take a lot to impress me. But no, they're doing some really creative stuff. They've got a very they keep building upon their menu, and they do pizzas and wings. And
have you invested in a golf cart yet? Because I hear it's not far from your house.
It's actually it's not terribly close. I mean, not golf cart distance. Where it's at in Port Neches, it's probably about a 10-minute drive for me. But nothing.
Terrible.
Nothing major.
No.
Yeah, it's a good place to go hang out.
Sponsored by Avenue Axe.
But if they want to, they want to.
Like if you're in the Southeast Texas area and you're ever looking to go catch a football game or something like, it's a great sports bar. There's TVs everywhere. They've got a ticker running.
But anybody that's watched our show for more than 30 seconds knows whenever we're passionate about something or we fall in love with something, like we talk about and ad nauseum. I mean, that's what we do, and we love the fact that a lot of this is Southeast Texas based. And
definitely.
I mean, when you're passionate about something and you fall in love with it, why not talk about it? Who cares? No free ads, and I mean,
my position with Longhorn. One of the best things I love about it is the people that I've been able to connect with and the relationships that I've been able to forge. And Garrett at Avenue Axe is just
such a good guy.
He's just a good dude. And I love good people that are trying to bring cool stuff to Southeast Texas, and I think we need to do everything we can to support places like that.
I pulled him aside because you and I were out there at the same time for an event. I was doing it was the thing with Crave Moore and the Beaumont Renegades indoor football team.
Yeah.
You were pouring that
Yes,
night.
I pulled Garrett aside. I'm like, hey, you might want to try some of this stuff out of Montana. And he was like, he's like, I may need to order that. And I'm like, I may need to get Rick down here to teach you how to do a cowboy mojito. And he goes,
oh, what?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, a cowboy mojito.
I mean, it would be worth putting on the menu. They're good.
Yes.
Chuck said that he scored one of the live edge cutting boards. That was from Matt.
Yeah, man. That's
what's the name of his?
Matt's Custom Woodworks.
Those cutting boards were gorgeous.
He's fantastic. Great guy as well. Me and Matt actually go back to high school and kind of reconnected over the last several years over a love for whiskey. And he's an incredible woodworker, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
right.
He
works the wood very well.
I hope I'm hanging out with Chuck in April is all I got to say.
Right?
If I can read that.
Yeah, so Chuck's planning on cracking that Double Eagle Very Rare in April.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He hadn't cracked it just yet.
Yeah.
But, no, so we kind of...
I'm glad I finally bought that.
No, absolutely. I don't think it's a bad buy at all.
No.
And, I mean, anytime you can score cool deals like 15% off or like our Brown Friday sale that we did. I mean, anytime you get any kind of deal like that from a liquor store, A, it's a big deal because you don't see it hardly ever. But B, it makes buying a bottle like that you kind of look at and you go, it's $100. Like, do I want to spend it? And then you get 15% off, and you're like, better.
I hate I didn't fresh crack it on Inauguration Day, but I waited for you guys.
Well, we appreciate that.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks
a lot.
I'm more important than Donald Trump. I get it.
To me, yes. To me, yes.
To me, just you.
To me, yes, you are. I can't vouch for everybody else.
So we kind of started diving into it. Do you want to pour something else? Or?
Yeah. I mean, we got a lot to get through, so
we do.
We got to pace ourselves here.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you want?
Let's go with one of these blinds.
Oh, yes.
Right, just before we completely blow our palate out, and
I think I'm a little late on that.
So
with the Tabasco,
we're gonna go with this one.
Okay.
Do you know what they are?
Yes.
Okay, he does.
Yes.
He knows what they are.
I think
He doesn't
think.
know.
I do.
First you know, then you think.
He,
All right.
he thinks he knows, but he has no idea.
He thinks
I'm
he
going
knows.
This
small.
is true life.
Yeah, actually, yes, small.
Yeah, we can go small.
Yeah, we got a lot to get through. Then we'll get this bitch turned up later.
Turned up.
What's Mike Williams' logo? Shout out, Mike.
Yeah. Is he on?
I don't know.
No, I hadn't seen him yet.
I'm sorry, I'm not acting very professional.
No, it's all good.
We always act professional on this show. Look, you're supporting.
I know you're supportive.
Got the pen, Mike Williams pen. If y'all live in Beaumont, let's make Beaumont better.
Yes.
Vote for Mike Williams.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, this is just I collect bottles around the office sometimes, and
Okay.
Jeff, if he's still in here, knows, being from that side of things, how much different stuff we can collect. And
Exactly.
some of it I find very interesting.
Me too.
And
I'm actually fixing to order a bigger liquor cabinet thanks to you guys. So yes,
So
my little one is damn near full.
yeah, so this is something that I felt was interesting. Hope you like it.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bucky
Yes.
has not had this either. So
Very nice. That nose is good. God. Very bready. Good coloration. Drapes for days, which I love. That's a good quality in a woman. I mean whiskey.
It was very drying. It's almost like I want to say like a wine finish. Or it's super oaky.
Like a sherry finish kind of thing?
Maybe. It's super, like there's some kind of additional wood, whether that's something that's very, very oaky or finished in something like a wine cask or something.
Interesting. It's good.
Very good.
The flavor's good. The nice warmth hug that it gives you, good. It's not abrasive. Because there's sometimes with whiskeys, like especially I think the older I've gotten, the more I kind of instantly get that almost kind of heartburn kind of feel from one for a little bit. This one I don't get that.
If I'm
100, I don't remember the proof.
105?
I was thinking I was thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna say.
I mean, it sits.
I'm gonna say 107.7.
Oh my gosh.
A point?
Yeah.
107.7.
We're about to find out. Well, not about to. My internet's not great in here.
Oh,
did we not switch you to the? We need to put him on the.
yeah. You connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll connect you to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. I don't want to give the Wi-Fi password out on
Yeah. Let's not do that.
on the show here because everybody be pulling up my yard using my Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi, Royce. Woo!
Y'all keep talking.
It's really good on the nose. Like I said, to me, it's got that bready note. It's not sourdough, but it's got like a kind of a wheat kind of bready note.
I actually got introduced to this brand through a single malt that they came out with, and just fantastic.
Interesting.
But yeah, let me let's get switched over to some Wi-Fi.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I'll give you the details.
Is this brand available at Longhorn Liquor?
Yes.
Of course it is.
This is
Just in case, because I mean,
they have 2 SKUs that we have available.
because right off the bat, that once you get it on your palate, the dryness from that oaky, whatever kind of immediately takes over. Like it dries out
does.
very
You're
quickly.
in.
But
You were blue check mark approved.
are you verified?
Thank you.
News about whiskey. What are we up to tonight? We're up to a lot, actually. We've got some good pours on the table. We just finished a Lazy K bar.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
not bad.
It was a good one. I like the proof point. It's a good,
Super
I feel it's
sweet
a good
nose.
entry one.
Oh,
It's right at
absolutely.
that entry level proof of like 92.
Looks
92.
looks gorgeous on a bar,
Yes, it looks gorgeous in a liquor cabinet too with glass. Trust me.
and
105.4.
Sir.
This is it's not age stated. They do say it was distilled in 2013.
Okay.
So I would say minimum 10 years old.
Okay.
probably
It's from a company called Bacta.
Bacta?
Bhakta.
tall bottle, slender.
Yeah, it's
Gorgeous-
got
another gorgeous bottle.
It's gorgeous bottle, glass topper,
Interesting.
some ribs on the on the surface of the bottle.
Rib for her pleasure.
Very good. It was their single malt that it's an Indian single malt, and I love Amroot and
Okay.
some of the closer to the equator single
Indian,
malts.
like from India?
Yeah,
Yeah.
India. And so I'm sure this is sourced.
Is that
Bourbon,
the same guy that started Rabbit Hole?
That's a great question.
Oh, you talking
but
about Kaveh Zamanian or whatever
Is
his
it?
name is?
I don't know.
I feel like, ooh, you might be right.
We probably should have done more research.
Probably.
This is a 99% corn
Okay.
mash bill.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's
So I'm
the-
assuming the
what's-
other 1% is probably malted barley.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, released at cask strength and 9 years age. So
9 year, 99
yeah, and this is
one.
finished in Armagnac.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it's got that dryness, almost like a sherry.
But yeah, it's
It's a good one. Good
about
job, sir.
$150.
Oh, yeah, I'll never
Bottle,
pay that much for
yeah.
it. I have
So-
one bottle that costs that much, and it's signed by Donis Todd
Yeah.
that I bought at last year's WhiskeyFest.
Yeah. But
no.
I found that interesting
Oh.
and
It's Whistle Pig. I knew it was one of those.
oh, okay.
It's Raj Peter Bhakta is the founder
Okay.
Nice.
of Bhakta and Whistle Pig.
Yeah.
There you go.
I knew it was one of those. Not specifically Whistle Pig.
Yeah.
I knew it was something else.
Well,
He used to own a different brand. Couldn't remember which one.
Yeah, see, it was Whistle Pig, Clint. I wasn't sure either.
Very nice.
But so Kevin, funny story about that. I put those handshakes, what I thought was underneath Mike's jacket, that red flannel
the
jacket.
whistle
you-
pig one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the dressing room.
Yeah.
Well, you said you grabbed that jacket, but apparently not the samples. So I don't know if somebody had already seen them or not. But I don't think you ended up with them, if I'm not
Somebody
mistaken.
partook
And
in
we
samples.
Yeah.
we went back to the Civic Center
Yeah.
that Monday, and
yeah, looking for
the
'em.
dressing room was cleaned out. So somebody got some samples that they're going to enjoy very much, I think.
Yeah.
But we may have to retry.
Not my fault, sir. I did not know they were there.
Yeah, it was a little busy.
It was a little busy. It was a little busy.
Me neither. Had no knowledge.
Yeah.
We were a little busy.
Hey, I do like our transparency. We could have just said they were fantastic.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we.
Maybe we
yes.
should have said that. Man, they were so good.
So good.
Edit.
And then he
Damn
went,
it, we're live.
Which one was your favorite? The third one.
The second one. The
Was
one
the
in the
second
middle.
one? Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
the
yeah,
one in
yeah.
the middle.
But
Oh, Lord, that's funny. That's a good one though. Good job, sir.
all right, yeah,
like that one.
just a little something.
I don't think I'll pay $150 for it, but I like it.
You know, that's why
Maybe.
again, like Lazy K, you know, let people try stuff.
But I do
before
like
they,
what
you
Bacta's
know.
doing with
Yes,
that brand.
Yes.
Because
I
he's
do.
got the single malt. He's got this 2013. He's coming out with these vintages, like a
Those bottles kind of
1938.
look like Great Gatsby kind of.
Right, like that
Oh,
era.
like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
20s kind of that era.
Yeah.
I
It's
like it.
because it's got the big lettering that goes up and down
Yeah.
vertically. But yeah, I mean he's doing all these different vintages, and he just recently, if I'm not mistaken, came out with one that's like a mix of like actual like Armagnac, cognac, and bourbon.
Oh, nice.
So like he's doing different things with it, and I think that's really cool. And that's the experimental side of bourbon. Call it what you want, but that's the experimental side that I think continues to intrigue people.
Yeah. I like spirits at the
Yes.
end of the day. I mean, I like rum. I love sipping on tequilas now. I mean,
Lalo.
Forte still whiskey. I like the higher proof, and typically you don't see that in too many tequilas or mezcals. Love mezcal. You know, as
Kind of gravitated toward the mezcal.
man, I've just really started developing more of a palate for the smoky stuff.
Yeah.
And it's something that I found very offensive when I first started drinking whiskey. Thank you, Ardbeg. And,
Yeah. Thank
you,
but
Ardbeg.
at WhiskeyFest, I literally had like 2 pours.
Right.
And they both came from Brook Lottie.
Yes.
And one of them, you know, was like a couple of the different Octomores. And just delicious. You know, some of the heavy.
Right off the deep end. Huh?
Yeah,
Right into
but
Octomore.
they're so well done and so well balanced. Like they're not offensive at all. You know, it doesn't taste much more smoky than even some of the stuff from Andalusia,
Really?
which is only like 10%
yeah.
smoke.
I
you know,
love
so,
Andalusia.
Yeah.
Very
So,
disappointed.
but yeah, we'll do this other little blind real quick, and we'll get
Nice.
these out of the way. Like I said, it's just stuff I know that you may not had this
Right,
bottle.
right.
Same with Bucky. I'm not sure, but just something different, and just.
And I'm
you know,
assuming that's
when you
not
have
what-
no clue. Just
We're
just
not
see
paying
what you
attention to
think.
what's written on the bottle.
No. Pay no
No,
attention to the
Gotcha.
label.
Okay.
This is not the whiskey you're looking for.
No.
No, of course not.
I drank all the whiskey out of these 2 bottles to create 2 vessels to bring blinds to y'all
Yeah.
with.
Interesting.
The Alma del Jaguar High Proof is good. Okay.
So
Ja-
that
Jaguar.
Thank you, Leon.
okay, Leon. Yeah, that is the second person in the last couple of weeks that have brought up that Alma del Jaguar.
Really?
So I'm gonna have to get a bottle like that. You know.
Nice.
So if one person says it, they may just be a fool. But 2 people, you know,
You're onto something.
might be
you go.
onto something. Or maybe there's just 2 fools.
Right.
Well, there could be that. Like,
All right, we'll do small pours
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
no Chesney pours?
Oh God,
He's like, damn it.
I got to drive to Needland.
I got to work tomorrow.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
I have a celebration of life at 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine who was in the car business for years. I've actually bought several of my vehicles from him. Passed about a month ago. And
Yeah.
they're doing his a guy by the name of Jim Terry from Ford. I think you know Jim. Yeah. So I got to do his celebration of life tomorrow. So I may hide a flask in my sports coat. Maybe.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
That's how I celebrate
It's a-
life.
I was going to say, it's a celebration.
celebration of
Let's
life, yeah.
celebrate.
Blythe said work in quotes on YouTube, by the way, sir.
No, I really do work at work.
It's a Saturday. It probably won't
It's a Saturday.
be laid back.
Sure, buddy.
Which store are you going to be at so where people can come see you?
Yeah.
Come see me at the Dallin location
Okay.
of
See you
Longhorn
at the
Liquor.
down location. yeah.
Dowling.
I don't know what to think about the nose on that one.
That one's kind of it's got a more bready nose than the first one.
Really?
To me, it
I'm
does.
not getting much bread.
This one's more sourdough. Coloration's good. Drapes are a little thinner on this one than the last one.
That's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
So me and a good buddy of mine, Luke, were having a discussion about this bottle this morning, and then while at the office, I saw that I had one,
That is good.
and thought it'd be good to bring it out here. First time for me to revisit in a while, and this brand was at WhiskeyFest as well. They had a big presence at WhiskeyFest, big old booth there on one of the sides or one of the ends, Milam and Green.
Yes.
So this is port finished rye, just there every day off the. I mean,
Right off the shelf.
Right off the shelf every day.
I want to say it's less than 100. I want to say 94 proof. I think. I'm almost positive it's like 94 proof.
It sounds right.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
you wouldn't have saw me there anyway, Clint, because I was at work this morning.
Dallin and didn't see any of y'all.
Yes.
What time did we leave Dallin? Me and Mike were there this morning for a little while.
You and Mike are always
Yeah. No,
I don't know what time you left.
joined it at the hip.
I was at the New Phelan location for a while.
You rolled in,
Probably around 10:45.
maybe.
Yeah.
joined it at the hip.
Oh, well, I was there for a little while.
But we did
Sorry, I
leave.
missed you, Clint.
About
We did.
around, if it was afternoon, Clint, then you missed us.
I missed him by 30 minutes the day I bought this little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just left to go over to the office.
And I called him. I was heartbroken. I said, man, I come here just to see your ass,
So-
and you're not even here with us.
Kind of under something, going back to Whiskey Fest, something that kind of flew under the radar, but I saw quite a few pictures that we were tagged in on the Whiskey Fest page, Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
And the real ones and the ones that know, Marlene,
Yes.
the master distiller, was there from Milan.
Yeah.
Rock star, yeah.
And she was absolutely ecstatic to be there again. And
Yes.
everybody that I talked to that knew who she was and got a chance to talk to her just absolutely loved the fact that she was out there. That's kind of those little
I would love to see. I'm not
things
gonna
that-
lie.
at Whiskey Fest that you're not gonna.
The fanboy in me would love to see her do a class next year.
Yeah.
100%.
Especially
The
knowing what
fanboy
Milan
in-
and Green
yes.
is doing with their, like, if I'm not mistaken, the Rise from Indiana. They get Tennessee whiskey, they get Kentucky bourbon, they distill some stuff here in Texas. It all gets brought in and ages for a little bit extra time in Texas. So the way they're doing it, again, being different and innovative, is really cool as well.
Yeah. Look, anybody that's, again,
Didn't get to see.
especially when I first got into whiskey and then into the business, like sourced whiskey kind of carried this negative connotation with it,
It
and
left a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
and I don't know. I don't know if it was Smoke Wagon that maybe. I mean, 'cause like you think sourced whiskey, a lot of people think MGP, but then Smoke Wagon blew
I
up.
think
I
it
know what it
was.
was.
I think
So what left a bad taste in everybody's mouth was the fact that Templeton,
yes,
who we now have went back to carrying at Longhorn, in the beginning, they were sourcing from MGP
Yes.
and lying about it.
Yeah,
And then
That's
it came
what left
out
them.
that they were lying. They got
Yes.
caught, and everybody was like, no.
yeah,
Well, now Templeton's gone, and they're distilling their own stuff.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. They admitted, hey, we screwed up.
But to me, the thing
Rebranding.
that saved sourcing, and it pains me to say this because I know you're a huge fanboy, Penelope and Smoke Wagon both are kind of what saved sourcing to me. With those guys doing this, picking the stuff that they were picking, as far as
Well,
it
the
being
fact that they were
sourced.
so transparent about it. Like,
Yes.
whenever, before MGP bought Penelope, if you went to the About Us page and the Meet Our Team page
Yeah.
on Penelope's website, at the bottom, part of their Meet Our Team was MGP listed
Yes.
right
Yeah.
there as who they were sourcing from. And then they also had another little tile that said Bardstown.
Yes.
Because they did source some things from Bardstown
things
as
from
well. But they were very, very transparent about it. Aaron Shepnick, who's been on the show,
Shepnick's a good
just
dude.
flat out says, yes, I am getting my stuff from MGP. A lot of it is contract distilled. Some of it's my own recipe, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I mean, they were,
That's another one I would love.
And
I would love to see at Whiskey Fest that hasn't made it yet.
to Aaron's credit, like he was buying that juice but flying it out or getting it out, trucking it out to Las Vegas,
yeah.
and aging it out. He was buying new make,
Yeah.
He'd buy a new make
and aging it in Vegas, which that is, I mean,
Yeah,
I believe that's one thing that makes to me Texas whiskey so
Right.
great.
Yes.
Is the environment that they're aging it in, and so you age something in Nevada in the desert. I'm assuming it's going to come out different than if it was aged in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
I'm anxious to see
absolutely.
with the temperatures we've gotten and the cold that we've had. I'm anxious to see what comes out of Texas in the near future.
I mean, I think it's still
They're talking
cold
about
for such a.
They're talking about another Arctic blast, like 1st of February, for God's sakes.
But I mean, I think over the years we've, it gets cold a couple times a year. I don't think it's enough to really. I just think it's such an intense climate down here, and to me, it's a beautiful thing. It really makes for
there's a lot of good. Yeah, there's a lot of
great
good,
whiskeys, and
There's a lot of good whiskeys out there for sure.
between Still Austin and Garrison Brothers and freaking Mike Cosby over at
Oh my God,
Giant.
Mike and the guys
and
at
everything
Giant
they're
are killing
cranking
it.
out. Love Giant.
They're
what they're
killing
doing
it.
at
Freaking, Iron Root with their Saints Alley line. I love that line.
Yeah.
I had some pours of that at WhiskeyFest. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin, I agree. I didn't get a chance to stop by the booth, but 1845 was a newcomer
1845.
this year, which is another Texas whiskey. They didn't have it out at WhiskeyFest, but I've gotten an opportunity to try it as well as Kevin. Their double oak was pretty good, and I know not everybody got to try it because they didn't have it out there, but I'm hearing some good things out of some of these these lesser.
Their double oak was a pretty
brands.
good pour. Austin's 121.
Yeah,
was a really good pour.
That's a new one they just came out with not too long ago. The 121.
Yeah, there's somebody in Beaumont today pointed out that bottle, saying how much they like that 121. Yeah,
I took a bunch of people by the Charles Goodnight booth.
yeah.
Did anybody have anything to say?
I don't know because I never did get Blythe's feedback. So I had like Blythe. I think Blythe, Jake, and I think Chuck we were all like together at that one point.
Well, guys, here's your opportunity to say what you think.
And I enjoy it. I love the finish on it. It's got that chocolatey note on the finish to me. It's I like it. Of course, then again, I also like single malts and scotches and stuff like that, and I feel like it's kind of see, Blythe said bad. Of course he would. Whatever.
It's not for everybody, right?
It's really not.
Everybody's
No,
palate's
it's
a little.
not.
That's what's great about whiskey.
Yes, everybody's palate's different.
Your opinion is your own, and you can have it because we all get something different.
I don't trust an opinion from Oklahoma, though.
Oh, gosh. Chuck said he didn't hate it.
He didn't hate it. Yeah, it's not.
Chocolate-covered Natchez water.
I take that up.
Ooh. It's going to make you take it off.
It's in there, man.
It's in there.
Dustin, is this a joke?
Yeah.
It's in the...
Yeah.
Bam!
Well, I knew it was going to happen, so I'd rather have
Oh,
him.
thanks, Bud. I appreciate it.
Mike set you up.
Yeah.
God, that's another
Set up
top
for
that you
failure.
could murder somebody
God.
with. These murder
Okay,
tops they
we
got
do
going
have
on.
to
I'll let
protect every drip of this
you,
one.
yes, I'll let you pour that then, sir, because I will make a mess.
Gosh.
I know me.
So, Blythe has a young palate. That's a good way to put
there
it.
you
That's
go.
a nice way to put
there
it.
you go. Good job, Chuck.
So,
Thank you, sir.
kind of
You
getting...
want some or not?
It's single malt.
You save that.
It's an American single malt.
So I tried it. Dustin let me try this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is courtesy of friend of the
Abbott.
show, good
Yeah.
buddy, Dustin Abbott. Man, I don't know that I've met somebody
nose.
that gets my palate as much as Dustin does. We are definitely kindred spirits when it comes to the whiskey that we enjoy. And he let me try this several weeks ago, and I just,
So
the initial night I tried it, I just raved and raved about it.
you did. In fact, so much so that we talked about it at work, and then I got an opportunity to try it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say anything as far as
Yeah.
nose and palate, but I'll tell you this much. When I tried it, I went, ooh.
Yeah.
It's very apple.
Really? Apple?
Very apple. Very crisp.
Okay.
Very clean.
So this is Dark Arts, just so everybody knows. This is a 7-year-old American single malt, 108.98.
Liquid gold.
Chuck said the same thing. All green apple.
Well,
Interesting.
then we know that's not right.
Yeah, I don't trust Chuck's palate anymore.
Just joking, Chuck. Love you, buddy.
Yes. Can we talk about unbent rye and the guys
So
that bent?
I was kind of. It's
Yes.
been mentioned a couple times.
Of course it has.
But so whenever I tried it, all I got, nose, palate, the whole shebang, was peach rings.
I could see that. I'll see your peach rings and raise you the apple rings.
Peach cobbler.
But okay,
There's a little pastry,
I got okay.
little
I
note
can
on
see
there
that.
too.
To me, that is
peach cobbler, man.
But it's
yeah,
it's good.
Wow.
that is apple pie.
I can admit
Yeah.
it was a good single malt.
It's a very
Let's go
good
with
thing.
white flesh fruit. That way we're both right.
White
That's
flush
sir.
fruit.
You can't say that on this show. Producer, bleep that.
See, Leon got peach.
I got see.
Good
Yeah.
for, good
Yeah.
for Leon.
The Leon knows what he's talking about,
I like
too.
it. That's a good one, though.
Yeah.
I like that very much. I'm going to have to dive into more of their stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really kind of opened my eyes. I knew that we had a couple of their SKUs over in the Heights store.
Yeah.
Just didn't know much about it. It's not a brand that people just
Rave about.
raving about, or coming in constantly asking
Yeah.
about.
See, now I see the peach rings on the finish.
Yeah.
But after trying this and not having tried any other expressions from them, definitely piqued my interest in what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And to be an American single man, this 7 years old versus like, and anybody that's seen me on here when I bring some of the balconies, you know, those are 4 to 5 years old, and they are as dark as that cup sitting in front of you.
Right.
You know, so this has a nice, just little amber, light amber, almost heavy straw color.
Light amber,
you know?
straw. Very, very apple, very peach.
But yeah. So, if, you can't buy this in stores. It's
unfortunately
not available for you to get. So, even if we described it well and you want to get it, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
So
just come in and keep asking about it.
Yeah.
Just because the more people ask about it, the more I can push.
Anybody that's listening to this show right now can probably get a hold of me fairly easily. And we'll invite you over anytime, and we will share a pour of this.
That's a good pour.
So
thank you for that one, by the way. That's a really good one.
You know, we always talk, especially the three of us. I love unique and just stuff that's different. Never had a whiskey like it. Yeah, exactly. I still prefer the dark, robust, tobacco and dark dried fruit notes I get from a Balcones, but I thought that was really well done.
And not just that one's actually really good.
Yeah. And so then we had somebody from the Bourbon Hounds group drop me off 3 samples in our Heights store. They're all dark art, so I've got 3 little samples.
So we're going dark art heavy. I like it.
Well, we don't have to get into these if we don't want. I mean, I know we.
He is killing it. His French oak finished and barely legal bourbon are amazing.
Yeah.
Chuck said their Tokai cask finish is a good one, which is, I feel like that's a very good compliment coming from Chuck, considering he was not a fan of the Penelope Tokai finish.
Right.
So much so that he gave me like 3/4 of a bottle of it and was like, just take it.
Well, I think that speaks more to Chuck's generosity than anything.
Way to swing that. Good job. And yes, Jake, I do agree. The Penelope Peach Old Fashioned for a pre-made cocktail turned out really well.
Yeah, no, Jake, I was pleasantly surprised. And 24 a bottle? Like, if you just want something easy.
Yeah.
And we still have them available at Longhorn. They are allocated.
I have one that I think y'all have it at Longhorn. So it's a toucan.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. The black toucans.
Those are really cool, especially for a party.
Yes. Man, and I got
the lemon drop wasn't bad. It's better on ice than just refrigerated.
I was speaking with one of the big dogs from Giglio last night, Mr. Will.
Oh, Will Jenkins. Good dude.
Fantastic dude. He was just going on and on about WhiskeyFest and the feedback he had gotten from Jeff and stuff, and Toucan they killed it out there. I think people are enamored by the concept. So those of y'all don't know, there's a bigger, like 12-ounce size kind of can on bottom, and on top is kind of where your liquor is.
Right.
You dump the top into the bottom, shake it. Yep.
Put them back together. Put some ice in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And just. And pour it out, and it's equivalent to 2 cocktails.
Correct.
And so, Jamie bought one, I guess.
100 proof liquor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Last night, I went outside to smoke a cigarette and walked back in, and she's like, "Look, I made you a drink," and I'm like, "Okay." So I tried it and immediately knew it was an espresso martini.
Yeah.
And I thought she had taken the time to really, craft me something special.
Yeah.
And
she said toucan.
Yeah, it was toucan.
The co-founder, I believe is who it was, he came into the store one day.
Okay.
And he let me try it.
I remember when he was...
And he was excited.
He was passionate, man.
He was very passionate.
He was very good at what
I was like, all right, bro, I need to know.
He was selling the shit out of it.
I was like, I need to know. Well, you're using trash whiskey, right, to make your old fashioned. He was like,
no.
You want to know where I'm getting it? Green River.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you're getting good whiskey.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me about the tequila. It's straight out of, he named it off, and he said they have major brands. He was like, I can't really say who they are, but major brands come out of there. So I was like, you're using like legit liquor in this stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
you're
the
not
two
skipping corners.
The two that Brandy got. So Brandy got a lemon drop and a margarita. from Toucan. Both,
okay.
Both of them were 100 proof liquor.
Were they good?
They were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
Interesting.
I like the margarita one a little bit better than the lemon drop, but.
Yeah, it's always new, innovative things.
Blythe said, yes, my wife came home with a few. So they must have been good if they were
Shelley
bringing them
said
back
I heard they lost Toucan.
Green River did?
No, I think she was referring to Giglio as far as losing Toucan.
What?
I mean, that would have happened in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a topic of conversation with Giglio the last,
Really?
with Jeff and Will in the last 48 hours.
Okay.
So,
Did not know that.
Yeah, but things
Either
move
way.
fast sometimes.
Yeah.
do.
So,
Either way, I mean, they're making good stuff. Like,
No, they're making good stuff, definitely.
the wife likes the espresso.
That's the one I want. That's the one I wanted.
The
but I
espresso
haven't
martini?
tried.
Yeah, that's the
I-
one
I like
Jamie
a good
poured. I mean,
Yeah.
it was fine. Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'm not a big cocktail guy.
Right.
Like, mainly neat whiskey. But
As
as far as cocktails go, yeah, it was.
It's not bad. I mean,
all
it's not bad for a quote unquote RTD cocktail. 'Cause I mean,
Yeah.
that's basically what it is.
So apparently it's already happened, according to Shelley's comment. Speaking of generosity, Chuck has a couple bottles for you.
Very nice. Bottles for
Okay.
the right.
Wow, man, I'm blushing.
I know, this community is crazy, right?
Yeah, they're the best.
Batting 1,000.
By the way,
I mean, the fact that people will tune in to listen to the three of us dumbasses
Yeah,
just
that's
sit around
right.
and talk. Watch us smoke cigars and drink whiskey.
Yes, exactly.
So kind of, but now that we're an hour in and we've talked absolutely zero about WhiskeyFest somewhat.
I know. We need to get into that.
So I kind of brought up the whole swag bag thing. So this year I noticed, and my wife said something about it as well, there was a few less things at the door in the swag bag. But
it was more out in the.
right, Sunday,
Yes.
whenever we got up and got home and got moving and all this stuff, she was like, look what I got. And she was like, woof. And it covered our entire kitchen table.
Yeah.
So it just felt like the
Yeah.
table, like the vendors themselves, like came with their A game. Because
They
she had
hooked it up this year,
T-shirts,
dude.
hats, a full-on like wild turkey cocktail shaker and stir.
Yeah,
and,
we got the long.
Well, here's
the
a
long
peek
branch
behind the
Yeah.
curtain
spoon.
for people. You know, the swag bags from year 2 over year 1 had less in them,
Right.
and then even less this year. The reason is very simple. The same stuff that we were putting in swag bags, for the most part,
Is what they were.
is what they have at the table.
Yes.
You know, all this stuff comes out of the warehouses, the
Right, the
distributor
promotional.
warehouses. Yeah, they're POS warehouses
Right.
and promotional stuff, and
Right.
and so it's a lot of the same stuff. And so instead of putting stuff in people's bag that they may or may not want,
Yeah.
Let them go get what they
look,
want. Yeah.
we talked about Matt, the one making the charcuterie, the
Right.
custom boards and stuff like that. My favorite picture, again, we're old friends, is for all 3 years. That Sunday at like 7:00 in the morning, he sends me a picture, and when he's taken all of his swag out and he's
lay it
Yeah.
out.
meticulously placed it out to where everything can be seen, and it covers a whole table. I mean, it's like just. My wife collects stickers, for like the
Oh, yeah.
Yeti cups
Oh,
and
yeah.
what y'all got here, stuff like that, and just the stickers alone was probably $100 worth
it
of
was
ridiculous.
stickers.
So ridiculous.
And I didn't realize how big of a deal pins were.
Yeah,
Yes, pins are
So-
a huge deal.
Blythe, Jake, our wives that were all there, they went around and collected as many pins from as many different tables as they could. Well, our buddy Tim, who was on the Still Awesome Pick with us, he
Yes.
does the Whiskey Idiots podcast. He's out of California. He had every intention of coming to Whiskey Fest, but some things came up.
Scheduling
He had
issues.
to
Stuff like
reschedule
that,
some
yeah.
stuff. But what they did is they actually boxed all of those up and sent them to him because he's got this apron and he does a mixed drink Monday or whatever.
Oh, cool.
So he
Wow.
wears this apron every time, and it's got a bunch of pins on it. Well, he posted a picture on Instagram shouting all of us out and saying
actually,
thank you
yeah.
for sending him because it's just loaded up with pins now.
Yeah.
And he's like, I mean, that's just really cool. Like
Yeah.
little stuff like that. It just makes a big difference.
Yeah, and we talked earlier, talking about the glasses, and this year they didn't have the year on them.
Yeah.
The year before
Right.
they did, and something me and Bucky have already discussed. That way people can collect these glasses every year. You know, you'll see the year back on there next year, but. Like if on my hat here is like this year's edition.
By the way, this year's pin.
Yeah.
So
shout out.
So we didn't do one the first year. Shout out to Dennis Williams. It was his idea last year to make a pin that kind of, just signified the festival. People could collect and keep on. And so different design each year. This was the second year of the pin, even though it's the third year of WhiskeyFest. Right. But they're very cool. And everybody got one when they received their Glencairn, as a...
shout out Paul.
Yeah, shout out Paul Hansen. I've been saying Glencairn for 4 years, and Paul Hansen. He said the other day he pronounced it Glencairn, and if you know Paul Hansen and how geeky he is about whiskey and very smart, I was like, yeah, that's probably the way to say it. I've probably been fucking this up the whole time.
You and everybody else in the free world.
So. Yes. Back-to-back comments. Garrison Brothers had some great pins. I don't recall seeing it.
I'll tell you who had some actually pretty cool pins.
Garrison Brothers brought some cool pins.
Yeah, I didn't.
Charles Goodnight had a 5-pack.
Charles Goodnight had belt buckles.
Yes.
I have 2 of them.
I need a belt buckle. I didn't get one of those. I didn't see. They were all gone by the time I got over there. Because I did speaking of cool experiences, the Brett Elliott Four Roses class, did that. Phenomenal. Brett's a fantastic guy. I love his stuff. And then went back and did the Old Elk thing as well. And both of those were really cool experiences.
Speaking of Brent Elliott, just so people know, because they just hit today the new single barrels. Yes. They're allocated to start off with just because they're going to go pretty quickly.
Of course, yeah.
I think $50 a bottle.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's not a high price at all.
I was
100
shocked.
proof.
It's a 100 proof single barrel.
Right. We got OBSF and OESK right now. Yeah. I know we're expecting
a third one.
A third one, but they're going to be very limited. They will be at, I think, all Longhorn Liquors.
Okay.
But wherever you shop, you're probably if you're interested in that, you're probably going to want to grab them pretty quickly.
They have to roll into Silsby tomorrow.
For those that don't know, according to Brent during that masterclass, he said they're going to try to roll out like 3 per year over the next 3 years or whatever. Yes. And then eventually you'll have
the whole set.
As long as you can find them, you can end up with the whole set of 10 recipes from them. Which is a really cool thing.
So cool. It is.
Yeah, it's so very cool.
It's one of my favorite things about Four Roses. Again, with bourbon, so much high similarities you can draw. I like the little idiosyncrasies, of 10 recipes and,
Oh, okay.
So I do have to say this. Bucky and I always talk about best dressed booth.
Yeah.
I think somebody took down Brown Foreman this year, in my opinion at least.
Who was that?
American Metal.
Oh,
dude, they had a freaking
with his motorcycle.
Sitting there. How cool was that?
Yeah. That guy kept asking me if he could start that motorcycle in the Civic
in
Center.
an enclosed building.
No, we love you.
I got a lot of people asking me if I could start it up. I'm like,
are not good.
I cannot make that decision.
Mike Wiggins.
But
that guy's decision.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if that was his
I was going to say, that's probably not even his
Civic Center decision.
I was fixing that bike.
But it was
cool,
enclosed. Like, we're in a garage. Do you start your car in your garage with it closed and stand outside of it? No.
I mean, with the door open. Maybe.
I picked up a OESK this evening and drinking it.
Wish I had a garage.
On it.
Me Very too. I park outside all the time.
Yeah, I got to stay in the elements.
A high rapid. Wow.
Very nice, Leon.
Very nice.
Cool. Yeah, I was shocked at the price, though, because you would think...
It would have been fine.
American
Metal will be sampling...
At 6 of our locations, February 7th and 8th.
Ooh.
I did
nice
meet the gentleman that was there earlier in the evening before he was asking me to start the motorcycle.
Yes.
Very nice guy. They did have a very cool setup.
Yeah.
I tried it's Tennessee whiskey. He was not disclosed exactly what distillery, but I was a little shocked at that bottle sticker price. So
it's a little.
Did you tried the 10-year? I haven't tried them.
I think I did. I mean, maybe before WhiskeyFest, a couple little pours of stuff he had. Again, very nice guy, but we do have the 10-year.
Yes, we got the 10-year in this week.
$250.
Something like that. Yeah. It's got a steep price tag.
Sounds price tag, yeah. So,
Was it Kevin?
I'm not sure who it was, to be
no
completely
idea.
honest with you.
It would have
I don't know. He's
So
younger and better looking than me. That's all I can say.
during the evening, as we were running around, I did get stopped by quite a few people, and let me say this: I shook hands and or hugged more people that I didn't know that night
I had that same yes.
than I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
But I was genuinely curious of what people thought of the evening, and one of the questions I would often ask is, what was your favorite booth? Not from a visual standpoint or anything like that. Just what did you enjoy? Mm-hmm. RD1.
RD1
was probably the number one answer, followed by Unbent.
Unbent was cool.
Bent Distilling.
Bent Distilling was cool. But I'm going to steal Blythe's comment right there. Lasso Hotel 18. Can we talk about that?
Lasso Motel.
However you,
Got a little bit of love that night.
Yeah.
good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Whistle Pig booth had a brand new 10-year bourbon that she was pouring.
Ooh.
No, okay.
Did not know that.
Did not know that.
Hate I missed that.
But and one of the things that a lot of people said was they were amazed at the level of pours that they were getting.
There was a lot of good
Brown
pours.
Foreman having birthday bourbon.
Yes.
The Longhorn
absolutely.
Liquor booth that was out there.
Yeah.
Talk about Pappy.
They had a lineup that was.
I
have
got a pour Pappy.
You'd have paid more at a
Yeah.
bar.
With Scott from Indiana, and I was excited.
You'd have paid more at a bar for the pours you could have got at the Longhorn booth
yes.
than
Yes.
Then
what
the
you paid
price
for a
of
VIP
admission.
ticket.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But they were just so many people were complimenting Jeff.
And let's not even talk about Friday night.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, that's
So
insane.
that's where I got to try.
I heard it was wild.
I
You
got
could
to try
spend
Tana.
$1,000 on that ticket and come out ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got to try Still Austin Tanager Friday night.
Okay.
But Jeff chimed in the other night and said he went through 2 bottles of Tanager in an hour and a half at WhiskeyFest.
That doesn't surprise me.
Wow.
That's how many people were going.
It was
Yeah.
going, yeah.
It's
tasting it.
I had a pour. It was so good. I
Not
got
only
to,
does
I got to
still-
talk to our buddy James, which is always cool.
He yelled at me because he didn't get to come to Austin and be a part of our
Right,
pick.
yeah. I wish he would have. That would have been cool.
So
Still Austin has such a great reputation already
They do.
within the community.
Yes.
But to put out not only that bottle, which is fucking fantastic.
That bottle is a really good bottle.
The presentation is immaculate. I mean, I love everything they did with that bottle. I love the name of it. I've always been a big fan of Still Austin's labels and kind of the artistic,
Yes.
nature of their labels. And they really knocked it out of the park with that one. And even though it is highly allocated, so a lot of people will not be able to find it and be able to purchase a bottle.
pour this one?
They kept it at a very reasonable price for such a limited time offering.
For a limited offering, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they said something around the original distillery release was like 600 bottles, and then they had to add a few to get it out, because Florida did get it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got it at Longhorn, so they had some markets to cover.
Right.
Yeah.
But it, for what it is, in the limited allocation of it, the pricing of it, I mean.
Damn, Hemingway, I didn't know we had Taylor Barrel Proof Rye at the long. I would have gone long for that one.
But I mean, it's stuff like that, like the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye,
I agree with Jake, though.
birthday
That
bourbon.
old rip, swinging.
the old, like, people got to try things
Yeah.
Swinging.
you can't find at some of the best whiskey bars.
No, you can't.
Across
That's
the nation.
sad thing
That's,
about it.
You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
I know, right?
This is the cognac finish one?
Yes.
I mean, it's we go through and obviously between the three of us, we all talk to different people and you get all the different things that people love about WhiskeyFest and the pours inside. That's what we're all there for.
But it just keeps getting better, though. That's what I don't understand. Over the last 3 years, it's gotten better each year.
I think for some people now the focus has not been on the whiskey, and it's like, let's get outside to the Buxton beer tent.
Yes, the beer tent is killing it as always.
Yes.
So, and I want to dig into WhiskeyFest much more,
Yes.
but we got to start with Friday night. And I know a lot of people in the chat right now probably didn't get a chance to go to the Friday night dinner. And in the future, we're going to continue to look at ways to make that more inclusive, but keeping it exclusive, if that makes sense. And we had a wonderful night for the charity. It was a banner night for us, but Andrew Duhan,
bro,
so good.
Just
from what I heard, killed it.
If you know anybody that was there, if you happen to be there yourself, like, it was insane. Like, I'll tell you this, breaking news, I've already hired Andrew Duhan for both nights next year.
There you go.
Breaking news.
We talked last night on the phone and come to an agreement, and
Andrew
I got to have that guy back.
Year, yes.
Like, he's just, if you don't know his music, Spotify it, Google it, Apple Play, whatever
you get your music from,
wherever you get your music from. Like, look this guy up. To have the New Offenders there Saturday night, they brought a completely different feel, more that Southern rock.
Yes.
On the heels of some tragedy from the lead singer, who's a good friend of mine I've known for many years. His dad had unfortunately passed away the day before WhiskeyFest, and he wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to play or not. And he called me and said he wanted to and get it, use that to get his mind off what he was dealing with. And you'd have never known he was dealing with anything. I mean, they just freaking completely brought their A game. Ridiculous. My buddy Ethan that opened up at WhiskeyFest on Saturday night, we've talked a couple times since then.
Talk about that guy. That guy killed it too.
Ethan's awesome, but he's had no idea that Hunter and them were going to bring the kind of setup they had. He's like, I've never played through equipment like that. Like, he said, I bet I sounded so much better.
Their stuff's so much better than mine.
But the music was a huge part.
Yes.
Buxton's being out there. Love those guys. Randy Edwards, you're so kind to us. And we love Buxton's. I know all of us here. We support them any chance we get. I've probably over-supported them over the last 4 years, but they're just great people doing great things. And
they've got some good-looking hats and stuff.
They do have some good.
As long as we have WhiskeyFest, Buxton's will be a part of that.
I'll tell you,
we're proud to say that.
I just got the opportunity to meet Randy right before WhiskeyFest.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to that guy, it's just I could just sit and listen to him because what he does for Buxton and his thought processes and the way he wants to do things and be a part of WhiskeyFest. And I'm just like, and then you try their products and their food and and I've said it, I'm not a beer guy, but everything that I've tried from them,
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'll go on record on it. Their Red Wedding.
Yeah,
one of the best sours I've ever had in my life.
100%.
Friday night, hanging out, listening to Andrew Duhan. I can't tell you how many cups of the winter lager I had.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Because I just kept going back. Yeah. I want another one. Like, I'm not a beer drinker, and I just kept going back. Like, I want another one. Yeah.
He almost ran out of cups that first night. Like, they pour so much beer there. It's crazy how generous they are and supportive they are of that event. And
not only that, if you get a chance to, chat, I know it's a total different event. They do Oktoberfest as well. And Oktoberfest beer.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with Blythe's comment there. It was the overall community.
Yes.
It was way more than just the pours. And that's the kind of atmosphere we do try to bring together. Like, that's what we want. And because you saw it all throughout the night, just groups of people hanging out, talking. Like, most of the time, they were holding their Glen, but it may have not had anything in it. Like, but they were everybody was having such a great time.
Yeah,
talk about great times. Talk about the after party.
One of my favorite aspects is really everybody in the chat tonight and the level of attendee that we have for this event. And it's not just, look, I've already got enough shit to deal with that day. I don't need to deal with people getting hammered. Yeah. And and look, I know it's easy to do. It's a whiskey fest.
That's the good thing about Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest versus other. Bucky and I saw it firsthand when we went to Whiskey Riot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, anytime you applaud and start hollering for somebody busting a glass, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. And fortunately for the three of us that have been involved in the whiskey community in this area now for several years, and that community continues to grow. and get stronger. And it's the only reason I work for Longhorn.
Yeah.
It's the only reason that WhiskeyFest even exists. It's about the community. I mean, obviously, the reason for WhiskeyFest at this point is because of cure rare disease, and they're the benefactor of. But you take that part out of it. I mean, it's a damn good party.
Speaking of cure rare disease, I know we're early in this. Do we have a preliminary guess? Did we do better than last year? Did we break even compared to last year? Where are we at with that?
We definitely, still some things coming in. Bills.
Yeah, there's
that are.
That's why I said preliminarily.
You mean people want to get paid?
Yeah. Well,
shocked.
Apparently not that hard because we're 2 weeks away out, and we're still waiting on invoices. But
that's funny.
Very comfortable saying. I mean, we definitely surpassed the previous 2 years.
Yes.
And probably by a pretty,
Hefty
what I would call significant margin.
There you go.
But definitely feel comfortable that over the first 3 years, this is a 3-year-old event. We've eclipsed over $1 million raised for cure rare disease.
In 3 years.
3 years.
I've heard from
That's
a few
insane.
new people that are going to be coming and bringing friends too. So it's only getting bigger.
It's only going to get bigger. So here's my challenge. So,
ooh, I like a good challenge.
We've sold out VIP obviously every single year.
Of course.
Right? This year,
We want a complete sellout.
I challenge everybody
I know where you're going with that one. I want a complete sellout.
to invite your friends, find somebody new that you want to introduce to whiskey,
Yes, absolutely.
your mom, your cousin, your best friend, whatever it is. I want a 100% full-on sellout this year for 2026.
Yeah.
January 2026, I want to sell out.
Man, if you're listening to this right now, you're just as integral in WhiskeyFest as I am, or Bucky is, or Roy is. We couldn't do it without y'all's support. Selfishly, and anybody that knows me, I'm very transparent. Like, I just want to I want this to be the biggest freaking whiskey festival in the country.
I feel you're pretty close right now, my friend.
Yeah,
I feel you're pretty close.
To see the growth from only 3 years in, but year over year over year.
Absolutely.
Get them to cross that river, Chuck. They need to cross that river.
Yeah, and it's the people that are in this chat tonight. It's us. It's the people that we've met over my 5 years of being in this industry, and
the whole fam. I like it.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous. And if you've ever been to a Longhorn drop, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because to me that embodies everything that we're kind of speaking about.
Speaking of Longhorn drops,
is
there one in the near future?
Man,
God, I'm so tired of that question.
Yeah, it's
we're trying.
Yeah, I mean we're trying. We're not trying. Like it's going to happen when it happens.
I need some footage. I need some new stuff on my show.
Yeah, and
I need to support you, man.
Oh, gosh.
We're definitely going to get it out there. We may not get it out there as early as people would like, because we're having an issue with people wanting to start line. And look, I appreciate the support, and people want to get out there a day or possibly even 2 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
But if anybody's familiar with the Dallin location, we are surrounded by other businesses, and we try to be a very friendly neighbor, and so we got to find a way to be able to continue to do what we do. But I just can't have people lining up in the middle of the day on a Friday.
Yeah,
salty rodeo.
So people may go circle the Specs building, for 4 nights. But
for the most part, most of the Rabbit Store's locations are standalone stores.
Yeah.
So you can wrap around that building. Yeah. And they do one drop, and it's in Dallas or Houston.
Stop it. Don't ask questions like that. No, there's no Blantons in the back, damn it.
For you, Clint, I'll show you the back anytime you want to see it.
Yeah. For Clint, I'll let him pick out his letter.
Yeah, you can pick out a letter.
Yeah, you can pick out whatever letter you want.
And I'm never going to compare us or talk about it in that way, but the Rabbit Store they do like Bourbon Day.
Yeah.
And they do this big drop, and it's usually at the Dallas location or a Houston location or whatever the case may be. That's fine. But what a lot of people forget is you have and let's just use Longhorn for example, we have 12 other locations. We have to think about all of that. Well, why doesn't the Rabbit store have to think about all of that? Why is it okay for them to only drop it at one location and nobody says a freaking word?
Yeah, I mean,
I get it. I know it'll never happen in my lifetime. I would love to see a mass drop at every Longhorn location at the same time.
yeah.
I'm just
12
saying.
And I think part of that
Bang.
is I don't, and I don't see it. Maybe it's not in my algorithm, but I don't see specs out there on the social media promoting stuff.
They're not.
And so, you know,
got
the people
the
that
best social media guy in the business. I don't know who the hell he is.
well,
but
I think people. Yeah, he's out there posting stuff, but I'm saying like at the same time,
he's out there.
we got to learn. Like when we do the raffles at the store, and it gets so packed in there. 150 people deep, and everybody's like just
How about
hoping
a loyalty drop?
to win one of these, highly allocated bottles. And my favorite time of that event every time is at the end of it. Even the people that didn't win that hang around,
Oh God,
just to shake my hand and say thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
thank you for having this and giving us an opportunity to get together, come out and get a chance to get really cool bottles at a fair price.
Yeah.
And there's not many people doing it, and
there's not.
Specs does a drop and they do it, they're selling. I've never known Specs to sell at
It's
a
the Rabbit
secondary
store, sir.
pricing.
We don't promote Specs. It's
So-
the Rabbit store.
But
We're not competitors with
But
them.
I can echo it from the social media side because I see both of it. The people that got great bottles are tagging us, are posting them.
Of course, yeah.
But even the people that didn't
Are still tagging.
are still
and posting.
tagging
Yeah.
and posting and saying how much fun they had. And
Oh, it's an experience. If you hadn't been to a Longhorn drop, it's an experience. Like 100% experience. I mean, it's like a big ass family reunion with a chance to win really good bottles of liquor.
how about a loyalty drop?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I think that's for loyal.
We've talked about it.
I think that's for loyal customers only.
We've
Not-
had
not
this-
Everybody in that line is a
I know.
is a loyalty
I
card.
get
I
it.
mean,
I get it. They all
Right.
have numbers. They all round up. I get it.
yeah,
but so from your standpoint,
like point space or
maybe I don't. Well, we've discussed and we'll have further discussions. But
yeah.
So from your standpoint, getting back to WhiskeyFest, and I think I know the answer to this, but and as busy as we all know you are, and we see you running around, what's your favorite part? Because you've done this for 3 years.
The end.
You
That is a good answer.
you stay busy. We see you run
Yeah.
from the back of the building to the front of the building, but ultimately, like you've got to have a favorite part of it.
Yeah, man, it feels really good when everybody comes up to you and tells you how good of a job you did. That feels really good. I mean, obviously, I don't get to participate, and you
Interesting.
probably
Her first Longhorn drop. Oh, we got to make this happen for this lady.
Wait, we have a
that's Brittany.
virgin Longhorn drop.
Goat shit.
Yes.
She is. It's not her first. Like her and Mike. Y'all don't know Michael and Brittany Gaucher?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Maybe if I see
Maybe if I
them.
saw the face, yeah.
They we've been to a lot of bottle drops
famous.
together. Good
Oh,
people.
okay.
Yeah. They're big Longhorn customers.
I like a little sarcasm in the comments. I was confused
Yeah,
for a
love
second.
it. I was like, wait a minute, we got to make this happen.
Wait a
I feel
minute,
like
what's
make a
going
wish
on?
right now. We got to make this happen.
Oh, I guess Brittany says she's never been with Michael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
the people coming up to you and saying how great of an event it is.
Yes.
yeah. I mean, that's always
Thanks, James.
to know that something that you do put work into, and I mean, we're not exactly talking about I mean, roads that have been traveled often. I mean, we are kind of. I mean, I know it's our third year, but we're continuing to try to make this event better, see where we can improve things, and like nobody else has really done or and how do you continue to improve from year to year? So seeing the reception that people show you based off of all that, and I remember the second year after the first year, and I was like, we got to have Buxton out there. Like that's going to change the whole vibe and everything out there, and then to do that, and even though it's a small thing, like it's like Buxton's was like.
Yeah, he's in a corner.
Please, can I come? Like so. It was just a thought, but to hear people come up and be like,
some beer?
Yeah,
and see how that vibe just completely changed out there, and so to see the things that we're doing and the little tweaks and stuff we try to make. Friday night, I know again. Sorry, I keep bringing it up because a lot of people aren't there, but we've made changes in the process of that night. From year 1 to year 2 and year 2 to year 3, and the way the whiskey is poured, the way the food is served, and like we just continue to kind of hit home runs with it, where just everything seems to work.
It should go wrong,
right? And
it just
works.
And Bucky can tell you this on Friday, like
we were freaking.
That's a lot of my is Friday night is kind of my deal.
Friday's the big anxiety
and the flow and
weekend.
stuff like that, and I woke up Friday morning, and we were doing something different with the dinner service than what we had done the first 2 years. And I'm like,
freaking out.
Shit. Like,
this isn't going to work.
We didn't think, like, this is not going to work. This was fucking stupid. Like, why are we doing it like this?
Mike's standing in an open doorway. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
And then as I continue to wrap my head around it more, I was like, no, we're going to be good. Like, because of this. And I go to Bucky. I'm like, listen this out. And at the end, it was perfect.
It freaking worked.
It was fucking perfect. And so just, and that's to have people, not only Mike and Dennis, who are obviously very integral parts of WhiskeyFest and not possible without those two gentlemen, but Catherine and Wendy and all the volunteers.
Can we talk about Mama Wendy? I love that lady.
That
lady,
she's the best.
Gold.
She's so
she
good.
Is
she's the
100%
best.
gold.
She's so selfless, and
yes.
the amount of time the volunteers she had behind the booth with Dennis, and like every time I walked back there, Dennis got a big smile on his face. It was so busy back there.
So funny peek behind the curtain story. So I walked in Saturday morning for our pre-show live that we've done for the last 3 years. I walked up to Wendy and said, "Hey, I'm looking for a Hobbit. Have you seen him?" And without even missing a beat, she goes, "He's over there," and pointed directly to Bucky. Like she knew who I was talking about. It was great.
She's been amazing, and she wants it to work. Like she's not afraid to grab me. Like because we used on Friday night, and we had these iPads set up, and we were, working through it, and she's like, "Bucky, help
here."
It's just little things like that. She wants it to go perfectly, and the way me and her work together, with it being my first year, and she's really taken a hold of this thing and wants it to be so great. It flowed perfectly from that first time I met her. I mean, it worked.
And Friday night, like year one, I mean, I had time increments as low as 2 or 3 minutes. Like this is what we're doing, like all the way through the whole evening.
He did.
And like I want to stay on point because I respect the musician that I hired because I love music,
right?
And really respect their time. And so like, hey, if I'm saying this party, the outside part's going to start at 8:30.
It's going to start at 8:30.
I want to get out there at 8:30.
Of course, yeah.
And so everything's going great. And I wish everybody that's listening to this right now could have witnessed that. But Mike Williams comes and taps me on the shoulder and is like, this is right after Rich from Cure Rare Disease was about to come off, and I'm about to bring up Scott Droddy, the live auctioneer. Yes. And Mike comes and taps me on the shoulder and said, "I'm going to speak." And I'm like, okay, this was not in the plans.
By the way, let's talk about that briefly. I heard, I'm connected. There was not a dry eye in the damn house when Mike Williams spoke.
So for those of y'all that don't know, this isn't just a charity that we're partnered with. Like Cure Rare Disease is very personal.
Yes.
So Mike Williams, his young son Hudson, has Duchenne's, which is a rare form of muscular dystrophy. They went and saw a specialist up in Boston, and pretty much Mike's like, what can I do? You know, like, it's rare disease. Like, there's not enough, for the lack of a better term, the way I've described it, it's not popular enough. And so pharmaceutical drug makers and researchers, like, there's just not enough money or no money that's put into researching these particular diseases because it's not popular enough. And probably, unfortunately, for a lot of these companies, there's not enough of a return on investment to go out and pioneer these cures. Or so Mike wanted to know what he could do with his platform, and that's how WhiskeyFest, I mean, the idea for WhiskeyFest and what we enjoy about WhiskeyFest as far as the pours and the community, that's all, you know, obviously what got the wheels moving. But we can't do this festival, for one, if y'all don't know TABC laws in Texas. You know, we're a 501c3 that owns WhiskeyFest, and it's you know, that's how we're able to do this with all the vendors that are there. And so to be able to raise money for, it could be any charity, and it would be awesome. But to personally know where this money's going and how it affects people that we love so dearly, it's just icing on the cake. And so if we can do that and have a badass and get to watch Andrew Duhon and the new offenders and have Buxton beer and all these different, and so another favorite thing about WhiskeyFest is like Bent Distilling being out there this year. Like, to me, this festival's made for
it's made for people like Bent.
Like, we see the Brown Foremans and you see the Beam Suntories and these big Wild Turkey and all Buffalo Trace, all these, and it's great. But I love these smaller guys that are really trying to get into the market and break into the market, and a lot of them are doing really good product. They just need, I equate it to like a musician. Like, we know so many good local musicians in this area, but how many actually get to go on, because you need whatever that break is. And if we can be the conduit to some of these distilleries getting their product out there and hopefully making that business work long term, instead of, you know, what we see so often with, you know, just so many of them, they don't last that long.
They don't.
It's not easy. It's not an easy game to get into.
It's a hard business.
So the fact that these people are even willing to put that on the line and put that out there and try to bring something unique to the market, like, this is a perfect place to expose that to a larger audience.
Absolutely.
And so
it really is.
Especially with, again, not to beat a dead horse, but I think it goes back to the level of attendee, though. Like, these guys have to make sense for their return on investment. And when they get to have the interactions with people that are sitting here on a Friday night listening to us three talk, you know, but like people that are genuinely interested in the product and the stories and like, that makes it a no-brainer for those people want to come back.
And I mean,
everybody.
Brittany echoed what I was saying earlier about RD1. She said that was their favorite.
Booths,
they went back about 5 times. Yeah,
it's one of the best.
But
booths,
I mean, we've had them in Longhorn for a little while now.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still a fairly new brand to Texas.
Fairly, yes.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that. Like, people are going to see RD1 on the shelf now. They're going to hopefully soon see Bent on the shelf at Longhorn Liquor.
Yes.
Iron Root. I mean, all of these distilleries.
Yeah, definitely let a brother know when the Saints Alley shows up.
And it was cool that everybody was like, holy shit, the first time ever I got to try Birthday Bourbon, or I got to try Pappy. Like, those are really cool. But when you stop and talk to people about it and they go, 1845 was awesome, or Bent was awesome, or RD1, you're like, that's why. That's what's awesome.
Well, it's not that. So the big thing with me is the fact that I love the blend of, yes, I know you have to have the big corporate dogs there, but I love the blend of corporate versus craft.
Right.
Well, I think Southeast Texas brings, because let's be honest, you and I have been to 3 of these now. Okay, we've been to Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest 3 years. We've been to Texas Whiskey Fest, and we've been to Whiskey Riot. 3 that we've been to. You and I both said in different conversations, without the man sitting in the middle, that Southeast Texas has been the best one because of the ratio of corporate to craft.
Yeah, it's a good mix for sure.
Very good mix.
It's also a good mix of people. Like
Yes,
it's just you're going to see people out, from all walks of life, and it's such a beautiful thing to all come under one roof and be able to celebrate that night, and that the mystique of that night continues to grow. Yeah. Like next year is going to be, I have no doubt, and we can get into some numbers and stuff like that. Obviously, as far as total dollars raised, we talked about that. Yes. There'll be a more finite figure coming in the future.
Yes,
but yes, we did more than we've ever done before. We've gone over $1 million for the 3 years, as a running total, and so.
Wow. Okay.
But I think what I'm most excited about what happened this year is we saw a pretty substantial growth in ticket sales.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
we absolutely did.
That's very encouraging for the long-term viability of this event. Is we've got to continue to see. Look, if WhiskeyFest was what we had year one, and we just did that every year,
I don't think anybody would complain.
Nobody would
complain at all.
But that's, if we're going to do something, especially to do right by the charity, let's raise as much damn money as we can.
Exactly.
And from my competitive spirit, I want to make the best damn whiskey festival we can. And so now, as I'm sure many of these people know, or that now with Bucky being on board and me and him kind of, working together and moving this thing in the direction. Man, I'm so excited to see where it goes. Probably my favorite part of the weekend, to be honest with y'all, was when I looked over on Saturday and I am running around and I see Brent Elliott sit down, and then I see Barry Brenniger come behind him and sit down at y'all's pre-show, yes. And then JD from Penelope come and sit down, and I'm like, these guys are putting together a show right now that all other whiskey influencers would love.
Oh yeah,
they took months to put
yes
one and then hope the other one comes on. We just did it in an hour segment.
Yes,
yeah. We just had 3 of the biggest names in whiskey on back to back to back. Like, huh?
Yeah.
You walk a little taller that day when something like that happens. You walk a little taller.
No, it was incredible. So, and if I'm gonna get bumped from the show, I'm glad it's from Elliott.
It was not on purpose.
Yeah, and you're always welcome on our
always
show.
have a seat.
You have the open
I've been
door.
giving them shit about that.
I know it
since that Saturday.
So it's like, fuck, I didn't even get on this year.
Yeah.
This was to kind of go back to Roy's original question. This was the first year that Mike Williams stood on stage Friday night and said it. You're not wrong. There wasn't a dry eye. I'm sitting there on the floor, crisscross applesauce like a little kid, and I'm just like, don't do it. There's one point in my video where I was watching it back and I was like, I did pretty good. All of a sudden, my phone drops and I'm just recording the floor, but I know I'm going like this. Like I am just locked in on this speech, and I'm like,
the only thing I can think of working with these guys the last 3 years that I've seen that's been more crazy than from what I heard of Mike Williams' speech Friday night. You haven't lived until you've sat at 1 in 100 and heard his speech with a bunch of shotgun-toting individuals that almost did the exact same effect. There wasn't a dry eye.
It was crazy, but
I had to follow. Like I had to go up there and speak to people.
So can you
like
can you talk a little bit about how did Brent Elliott come into play? Like how did that? And sorry, go ahead. Shelby, real quick, Shelby had said Noe that they take care of has a rare disease also, mitochondrial disease with gene triplication.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly hopefully
what that is, but
y'all are able to get everything that you need for that as well. And I don't know 100% what all Cure Rare Disease as far as what they're working on.
I know
I hope
year,
for y'all's sake that it is one of those. Like that's
last year when you and I met Rich, you could not ask for a nicer guy to be the face of the.
He's such a cool dude,
Oh my
and
God.
he's at WhiskeyFest. So if y'all don't know, he is at WhiskeyFest.
Yeah, he's actually there,
and he's having a good time, and he's enjoying himself.
Yes.
So Friday we were setting up for everything, and he walks in, and I kind of go up to him because we're working on a video that we were going to show Friday night, and I'm like, hey, if you don't mind, just kind of watch this with me and make sure we're good. And I was like, oh, and by the way, my name is Bucky. And he was like, I remember you from last year. You and your buddy were here.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have no reason to remember me.
No, he doesn't. And that's
none
the thing
whatsoever.
You get at is like I walked up to Britt Elliott later because I know after the class he had a long line of people signing stuff and shit like that. And I just happened to put my book from the class, and I'm like, hey, I didn't really want to do this, but can you sign my book? He was absolutely, let's go to my booth. So we walked around from RD1 to the Four Roses booth.
Yeah.
Signed my book, no problem. Britt's a fantastic guy.
Oh, he was super nice.
I can't wait to see what year 4 holds.
And I know Michael will echo this, but one of the coolest things about Brent Elliott being out there, and he didn't have to do anything, but the entire time he was smiling, he was having a good time. But going back to Friday and then even Saturday, like at one point Friday night after he gave a speech and we all kind of made our way out, he was chilling at the Buxton booth, drinking the beer, watching Andrew on, like having the time of his life.
Hey, so
that's what you want with these big guests.
There's a picture that's floating around the Facebook.
Facebook?
Yes. And I'll tell you who the lineup is, and it amazed me the fact that I even made this lineup number one. So it's Brett Elliott, Dr. Wood, Barry Brenniger, Summer Sanford with Women's Whiskey Society.
Yes.
Myself and the wife.
Oh, gosh.
All in this picture, and I'm like,
how did I get here? How am I in this picture?
How did I get in here? Better yet, how did the wife get in here with me?
But that was the coolest thing, is that him and Barry and Jared, Dr. Wood, I feel like I can say this truthfully, is they honestly and genuinely had a great time.
I feel they did too. I feel
like
100%.
They weren't just a special guest at a whiskey festival.
And not just that, like what
they were attendees.
And I can say y'all because you helped out a lot this year. So
right.
I can officially say y'all now. You still used to be Longhorn, but now I can say y'all. What y'all are doing with making, because let's be honest, Beaumont, Texas is kind of off the beaten path a little bit.
There's no reason the largest whiskey festival in Texas should be in Beaumont.
Yes, I agree completely. But it does. It happens. It's a thing. We're all around it. But the fact to keep doing it year after year after year, it makes me wonder what year 4 is going to be like.
You think about...
It makes me wonder if year 5, do I get a coin because I've been off 5 years? I mean, what the
right. When do we get the jacket?
I need a jacket that says, hey, 5-year vet on it. I need that type stuff.
What's really cool is for people like us, me and you, and Shelby, and Dustin, and Chuck.
Not just that. Talk about the fact that I spent majority of my night hanging out with 2 dudes from Indiana, for God's sake.
Right, exactly. And I'm glad they came this year. Because,
so glad.
So what I was kind of saying was, like, year 1 and 2, Donis Todd.
Yes,
the master distiller from Garrison Brothers. That's a big deal for people like us.
Yes.
Because that's not too far from home.
Right.
It's a big name in Texas whiskey.
It is.
But for somebody maybe like Scotty or Jake or Blythe, maybe that's not that big of a deal. So we've graduated from Donis Todd and love having her out there, and she's been out there multiple times. Marlene from Milam and Green. Yes. And I didn't realize it until it was way too late, and I wish I would have known. The master distiller from Bit was there as well.
I did not know that
exactly.
Either. Wow.
So he was there to experience it. Marlene, Donis Todd being there for the first 2 years, but he wasn't able to make it this year. Some of the names that you're getting out there, and then all of a sudden, you're like, Brent Elliott from Four Roses.
Yes.
Barry Brenniger and Jared Gollahue from RD1.
Yes.
Marlene again. Like, what?
It's great.
They're coming to Beaumont, Texas?
Yes.
I'm excited, and I can't wait to see, especially now that I'm a part of the team and now that I'm going to have a little bit of a fingerprint on this thing, what can we do?
I need to know how I become a part.
That's a real good question. I don't know how I became a part.
That's what I need to know. I need to know how I become a part.
But
I also like what I do, so that's kind of hard.
Shit with Brent. and he is just a super cool guy. And that's the
very
same thing
much a super
everybody
cool guy,
has
yes.
freaking said.
Because I loved it when we were doing our pre-show. His guy, still don't know his name. Call him
Yeah.
his guy. Don't know his name for shit. He goes, hey, do you want him? I'm like,
But he then, and I don't know that guy, and
I
I
don't
much
either,
respect
and
to
I feel
him
like
for
that. I
being
feel
there
like
and
that,
doing everything.
yes.
But I don't know if he's like a security detail or what the deal was,
I
because
feel he's his assistant.
maybe. And he
I mean,
stood there the entire time.
Security detail. Let's be honest. He ain't walking around like me.
So at one point, I ran back to the dressing room to grab my camera or something, and I see him standing there, and I'm like,
Hey, bud.
"You good?
What you doing?
Is Brent good? Everything okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just waiting." And I was like, "Okay."
Waiting for him to wash his hands, or what are you doing?
Well, that's what he eventually said. He was like, "He's in the bathroom." I was like, "Okay," so he had to pee, and he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool. You're good."
Why are you waiting?
Like he was just standing in the middle. It was funny, but I get it. I do. I understand.
Creepy.
But it was just one of those weird, funny moments where you stop and you're like, good, okay.
Good. Thumbs up, yes.
But he did. Brent took time to sign every single
Oh my
bottle,
God.
book,
yes.
hand, whatever. Like,
Bringing a bottle next year if he shows up. Just
sir, I
saying.
can't allow you to bring a bottle in the Civic Center.
I don't give a shit. Who are you?
The assistant to the assistant down the road, somewhere in a broom closet.
At least you have an office.
It's a broom closet. No, it's not.
It's
Brent got
not a
me
broom
the
closet.
last year of their small batch limited edition they brought. That was another really good pour that
Yes.
didn't get talked about.
Yes, it was.
Whenever we were kind of talking about all the allocated stuff that was out there, their limited edition was being poured up. It was fantastic. I heard that Iron Root had their cigar batch out there.
I heard it's going to be bigger next year. Why, Shelby? Whatever do you mean? I heard that too.
What I think, Shelby, and what you are both referring to was a very big part of the conversation we were having moving into 2026. But we're going to hold off on what I think everybody's talking about.
No, I'm just talking about who you're going to have next.
I don't know. That's another.
Where do you go from here?
Right? How do you top what we've done?
Two names: Cole Hauser and Ryan Bingham.
I don't think that gets people excited like Brent Elliott from Four Roses.
It gets me excited.
I agree.
I like Ryan Bingham's music.
Let me ask it in a more generic way, and I want everybody to chime in.
Yes.
Who or what are the biggest names in whiskey right now?
Freddie No.
I like that one.
Freddie No.
I like that one.
100%. Freddie No.
Everybody chime in. Let me know what you think.
Who's the guy? Crap.
I'll put it on a dream board.
Yes.
We'll call it.
Freddie No would be a good one.
I'm curious because we are starting to work on 2026.
The guy,
very soon.
any of the guys from Angel's Envy.
Ooh.
I would love to see somebody from that distillery.
Wes Henderson, who
Just because
was
of
the
a
original
huge-
founder of
yes.
Angel's Envy, who now has True Story,
Yes.
which is another brand I would like to see
Yes,
out there.
I would love to see True Story
Because
as
he
well.
bought the Kentucky Castle,
Yes.
and he's now releasing True Story, which is
Yes.
another finished whiskey that he's
Yes.
doing. That might be a cool one. Wes
Yeah,
Henderson
Wes Henderson
is
would be a good one. Freddie No.
I know who you are talking about.
Yeah.
Not Freddie. No, there's
Yeah,
another Freddie.
Freddie Johnson.
Yeah. But I'm just kind of curious.
Bruce Russell. Okay. I like that one. That's
Okay.
a good one. I like that one.
I like the Bruce Russell.
Yeah. Aaron Shepnick. Shepnick would be a fun
He
one. He would
that
be a fun one.
dude
Yes,
to
he would
have.
be a
Like,
fun one.
you want to throw a party?
Yes.
Let's get Aaron.
Let's get Aaron.
Call him. Call him up.
Call Aaron Shepnick.
Get
and
his
be like,
people
hey,
on the phone.
Hey, bud. We're going to need you in Texas in January. Can you
But
do that?
It would, as fun as it would be, I think a blending class with somebody like Aaron
Yes.
would be fantastic.
I think it would too.
Because as fun as he is, as exorbitant as he is,
All right.
at the end of the day, the dude is blending some good fucking
Let me
whiskey.
tell you another one. If they ever get, you talk about blending classes in particular. If they get into Texas, I can tell you right now who would be my number one for blending. Jonathan Masano with K. Luke.
Ooh, I would need him to get into the Texas
Jonathan,
market, though.
yes, I would need them to get into Nancy Fraley, another one. Good job, Dana.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, Nancy
she knows.
Fraley would be a good one.
She knows.
Nancy.
That would be my dream guest.
Of
Like, I
course
know
it
that's
would.
not everybody's dream guest.
I've never seen you get so Twitter-pated over an older woman, by the way.
I'm telling
and thank
you.
you for wearing your Sunday best, by the way.
Right?
like a fucking
I'm in a Bucky's
You look
hoodie
like a fucking
and
bum.
red
Yes.
sweatpants.
You look like a fucking bum.
I did.
I saw that, and I saw Dale's comment to go with it. I'm like, this motherfucker here.
But so what Nancy does and her blending skills and my just genuine curiosity of the entire process. Somebody like Nancy Fraley for me would be
Nancy
a
Fraley
big
would be a
deal.
good one,
And
yes.
being able to sit into a blending class with her, that would mean the world to me.
Yes.
But I can't do this for selfish reasons either.
I understand that.
But yeah, I'm curious. So Freddie, no, obviously Jake is a huge
Yes.
Beam
Huge
fan.
Beam Centauri, yes. All that jazz.
Bruce Russell, I do
Bruce
like.
Russell would be a good one. Freddie Johnson would be a good one.
Freddie would be. I don't know if I could find a venue big enough
For Freddie
outside
Johnson, yes. I agree.
because moving in, we
You
don't
would
know where
have
this
to-
is. I
you
would
have
need
to move his class outside and hope for good weather.
well, just WhiskeyFest tickets in general. Like
God,
so
yes.
many people would be there just to see
See Freddie Johnson.
Freddie
yes.
Johnson at the Buffalo Trace booth.
Yes.
Like I don't know if you could find a venue big
Harlan
enough.
Wheatley. Harlan Wheatley would be another one.
What do y'all think
With
about
that
Harlan
same
Wheatley?
Buffalo Trace,
I don't know. I don't.
Traveler, all that stuff.
I feel like if you're gonna do a Harlan Wheatley, like you want him to bring Freddie Johnson with him.
Of course, yeah. You get a package kind of deal.
Right.
I'll tell you another one that would intrigue me so much. Al Laws would intrigue me a lot.
They weren't even there this year.
No, they weren't.
I'm just trying to think of like
Kobe Frere from Frere Ranch. That's another
Who's-
one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Frey Ranch is doing some
Frere
killer
Ranch is doing some good stuff. Yes,
killer
yes,
stuff
yes.
right now.
We talked about Wes Henderson. That's another good one.
Ooh, you know who's a big name who's taken over social media and has really become a darling? Fawn Weaver from Uncle
darling?
Nearest. Yes. Fawn Weaver from
Not a
Uncle
darling?
Nearest. A darling. Hello, darling. Think Freddie would break. Yeah, and that's
Yes,
my thought.
Freddie
Like,
would break WhiskeyFest.
that would
100%.
be something I would need more than 1 year to plan.
Yes,
I think.
you would need to plan. You would need to start now for 2027. Realistically,
Who knows? I mean, I'm not saying it's off the table.
no, 100%
But-
off table.
But Fawn Weaver and V. Edie Butler from Uncle
Yes,
Nearest,
those they would be cool.
they've been taking the social media by storm.
Yes,
And Uncle Nearest is doing some great stuff. Like,
they are. They
for
got
reals.
a bottle
Yeah.
of the nearest rye.
I'm trying to think of, all right, we just had Brent Elliott and Barry Brenniger.
Yeah,
Two
Ooh,
big names. One blossoming name and one big name.
Who's the dude from Redwood? Redwood
That's a good
Empire.
question. I don't know.
Redwood Empire would be another good one. I like their stuff too.
You'd almost have to make that a surprise guest.
Yes, you would almost have to do it. God, you would have to hide that one very.
Y'all
well.
quit talking about Freddie Johnson. Now my mind's racing. Quit.
Ooh, interesting one. And he's been in a Longhorn, I know. Graham McTavish would be an interesting one.
Would enough people know Graham
Enough people
McTavish
would
on
know
the
him-
celebrity side
Yes, on the
and the whiskey side
that's
to
kinda-
make it a big deal?
I don't think that. I think it would be more on the celebrity side than anything. Kind of like the whole Cole Hauser, Ryan Bingham
Said
thing.
that. Another one that is
Said
not in
that, yeah,
Texas.
not in Texas.
Would love to chat with Seth. I think he's a very interesting person. I've listened to some interviews he's done. That's another one in addition to like Jonathan Massano, who would be great to
you're
have.
good, you're
And
So we're talking
somebody interesting.
So,
So I
to
posed a
recap
question.
you, yes,
Yeah.
I posed a question to everybody. What's the biggest names in whiskey right now that you would like to see at WhiskeyFest? And of course, the first like three popped off. Freddie Johnson, Freddie Johnson, Freddie Johnson.
yes.
It's like, slow your roll, guys. So then we got some real answers.
Yes.
Bruce Russell,
Bruce Russell,
Freddie No,
Kobe Frey.
Nancy Fraley, Kobe Frey, Seth Detling, Jonathan Massano.
Matt Crittenden an intriguing one too. By the way, yeah,
I got to
I said Wes Henderson.
yeah. Wes
Formerly
Henderson.
of Angels Envy, now of True Story.
the aforementioned Russell's pick
Yeah.
we did that pick with Bruce Russell.
Really?
And, oh yeah, and I would love to have somebody from the Russell family. I think that would be. I mean, you start talking about the hierarchy of the Godfathers of bourbon and the names of
right. So and maybe that's a theme. Like moving forward, like you have a theme, right? So maybe it's the heirs,
the OGs,
right?
maybe.
The heirs to the throne, and it's a Freddie Noe and Bruce Russell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're the next. They're next. Like they are Beam and Turkey now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
for
that's
sure.
a cool little theme to think about.
Yeah, I would look anybody that obviously having Brent this year and Barry this year.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, how do you top that?
It's wild that, I mean, Barry's just. I mean, I want to just my experiences of the weekend with Brent. Like on Friday night when he went out there, immediately after the inside part of that dinner was done, and Brent Elliott just goes outside and goes straight to the Buxton tent.
That's what I heard. He went straight to Buxton, and
then to get up there and just jam out to the music, you could tell he was genuinely having a good time. But it started with Barry on Thursday night, a little get together out at Big Chief's place, but to get to spend some time with him and Dr. Wood.
I missed the Big Chief thing. We were driving back from Austin that day, the day of the
yeah. That's right.
I missed that one.
Yeah, it was good to get out there and see so many people that are obviously. This has become a huge support area for RD1.
Shit.
What?
I'm sorry.
Cowboys hire somebody?
Yeah, Brian Schottenheimer is the new head coach.
Yeah. Well,
Schottenheimer.
As long as it's not Kellen Moore, huh?
Tony, I 100% agree with that. And I'm working. I want to get them out. Period. Like I want to pursue
Ryan and Kenny from Bourbon Pursuit.
I want to pursue United Booth there. That's my
Chase Fletcher's.
If I'm going to make it a goal, I want
Chase Fletcher's an interesting one though too.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Jackie Zycan
Fletcher,
is.
Sorry.
Jackie Zycan would be,
Yeah.
I mean, there are some big names that I was curious of what everybody's thoughts were. Like who's next after you have Brent and Barry? And
you could go.
I want to brag on Barry. I don't know what all you said while I was outside, but Barry is just one of those genuine whiskey guys.
Genuine.
He just wants to talk and drink good whiskey.
And like both of their celebrity status in the whiskey world comes from different angles. Because Brent, master distiller of this, Four Roses, one of these major, and Barry's kind of on this other side where they're doing, more towards like some of the innovation and the wild finishing techniques and. I
mean, he brought a guy with the nickname Dr. Wood.
Yes. Yeah, right. Yes. But I think. If you ask people, I mean, obviously, anybody that got to sit in that class with Brent Elliott, I'm sure it was astounding. But and we've already seen it tonight. We've talked about it, but the booth that people talked about, the experiences that people talked about. I mean, RD1 was at the forefront of a lot of that. And look, I'm still blown away by that barrel that we picked. They sampled out that entire bottle on Saturday night. Those of y'all that don't know, it should be hitting stores soon. They're in bottling already, but it's literally a one-of-one barrel in the entire country. Nobody else
is doing it.
No, they only had one barrel of this like Brazilian blackberry wine.
And Jared said on our show that it was literally he's tried to source more barrels of this, and he can't. Like they can't get them.
Yeah.
So as of right now,
it's one of one.
It is literally one of one.
He did say they definitely will be repeating it when he can get the barrels.
Yes,
but he can get the barrels. For right now, it's literally a one of one, and just so that they gave us the opportunity to pick that.
Right, exactly.
And that is, although it didn't make it in, I know Barry and them were trying. That is a Southeast Texas WhiskeyFest pick that we did specifically trying to release in conjunction with the festival.
Yeah.
Going to be a little bit late, but those bottles will still be there for y'all to be able to purchase and have on your shelves. And any of the bottles that minus the Garrison Brothers. We did not sample out the Garrison Brothers, and they use small format barrels. The yields are, and they were hazmat. Right. Like, I don't have to tell y'all, we don't really have to work very hard to sell those bottles. And so there's, a lot of the sampling comes from trying to introduce you to bottles, to introduce you to a brand, and in hopes that you'll go to the store and make those purchases. And that's what it's all about. Well,
another cool one that I had a chance to stop before the show or before the event opened, Augusta Distillery. I didn't realize they were going to be out there.
Yeah.
I had a chance to stop and talk to
that double barrel needs
the young man and woman that were working that booth, and I was like,
didn't
realize y'all were going to be here.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, we're just now getting into the Texas market. We're excited to be here.
Nice.
Da-da-da-da-da. He was like, we're hoping we have good reception, and they were genuinely excited to be there.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is so cool. Like, everybody's setting up. This is fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I was excited. But even like all the way down, so big names. Augusta's a growing name in the game. Four Roses, blah blah blah. All the way down to our friends from Texas Tell.
Yes.
Nick and Greg were out there. They came rolling in
still
after doing a tasting in the store.
They need to bring Boss Lady out for one.
But they come rolling in after doing a tasting in the store that Saturday afternoon, and they're like, we're here, baby, and let's party. They were so excited, and they were like getting these cocktails ready, and they were getting all their stuff. Like, I don't care who you are, I love it. It's freaking amazing, man.
Yeah, it's
and the people are so excited.
You can feel it, like being out there, like, and especially working all day. But like in my mind, there's like this internal clock,
right?
Ticking down and being like, oh shit, we got. I think we're good.
Are we good?
And we did. I mean,
that was a funky
pre-festival on Saturday was by far the smoothest day we've had.
Yeah,
in the 3 years. Now, once
you had me rolling in looking like an assassin with all these kits.
The way the classes ran and trying to do two before, I don't like the way that ended up going.
Yeah,
just having people waiting around after the first class. We did our best we could to try to get.
The wait wasn't bad from a spectator standpoint.
Sure,
the wait was not bad.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
It was bad.
I'm gonna tell you, me and Mike had a ton of conversation about what's the best way to do this. We know we're gonna do the two classes. Mm-hmm. Do we run them simultaneously? Do we go back to back? Do we go we had a bunch of conversations.
I think the way y'all did them worked
how
out
to
great.
Do this and what's best for y'all.
You had your people that you knew were gonna go RD1. I wasn't one of those. That's the one I really wanted to do, but time restraints and stuff like that wouldn't allow it. Next year, that's going to change for me. I can tell you right now, because there's going to be some changes for me personally, but we'll deal with that after show. But sitting through Brent's class, was an amazing.
Dude, and let me, you brought him up, and we bragged on him a little bit, but Paul, friend of ours. He was in the Four Roses class.
Yes.
And his questions and his attentiveness and that you just felt like he was asking questions and he was wanting to know and he was astute. And it was so cool to watch him go, okay, now I can ask questions.
Yeah.
And go.
No, I can't. I mean, Brent Elliott to Paul is, I'm trying to think of somebody that I would really, really want to meet. I don't know.
Right.
Well, hang on to that because I have a little scenario. I'm gonna make this a little lighthearted. So I saw this. I thought it was hilarious. I wanted to talk about it. So an 11-year-old found a 1-of-1 Paul Skinks debut patch trading card. Okay, Paul Skinks just won Rookie of the Year.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
So the Pirates, on Paul's behalf, offered this kid this package, and this kid turned it down. I'm going to run you through the package. You tell me if you turn it down. So the Pirates offered 2 season tickets right behind home plate for the next 30 years, a meet and greet with Paul Skinks, 2 Paul Skinks signed jerseys, and 1 game in Livy Dunn's suite at a Pirates game.
Oh, I'm taking it all.
The 11-year-old turned it down.
I'm taking it.
He turned it down.
I don't care.
I would have took it just for the sheer fact of Livy Dunn. Care less about Paul Skinks. Give me Livy Dunn.
The season tickets for the next 30 years behind home plate.
Oh, that's got to be painful.
2 season tickets, not just 1.
For Pirates season
2 seats.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would.
Yeah.
But if you're a Pirates fan, because I went through a bunch of bad years with the Astros.
Yeah, you did.
Shut up. But
that's a lot of bad baseball.
Yeah, but that's a lot of.
But if that kid turns out to not be nothing, that patch, that
Skinks
card,
probably won't be there, but he'll.
but that patch
Maybe
turns out worth.
He'll be for the play with the Yankees in the next 4 years.
But if that patch turns out to be worthless because he blows out his arm and he never pitches again,
Yeah.
you just passed up $1 million package.
At least, yeah. And it also says much more. They didn't disclose what the much
Everything?
more was, but
No.
it looked like the Pirates were trying to sell the farm to get this
Yeah.
card
Oh, yeah.
for Paul Skinks.
Oh, that's crazy.
Man. Throwing a free hot dog.
Right? One free hot dog.
One free
every
hot dog.
visit.
No.
Every inning.
No.
Every inning.
One free beer.
He's
every
11.
inning.
He's 11, Roy.
I want a hot dog when I'm 11, not a beer.
I'd take a beer.
I mean, I was probably drinking beer at 11.
Right?
You know.
Beer's a gateway drug.
Yeah, beer is a gateway drug.
Brewers are just distillers that quit.
Don't say that too loud.
Oh, we love Buxton.
Yes, we love Buxton. Buxton's great. That's great, by the way.
So sorry I had to step out for a while.
No,
Any
you're
other
good.
questions
Everything
we
okay?
asked? Yeah, just
Just making sure. That's all we need to know.
Yes.
freaking alarm.
No, so I just, while you were out, that was kind of my, like, what do we do
like a
for
small
2026?
pour, if
You
you
know what I
don't
mean? Because we, like I said, we just had Brent Elliott and Barry Brinegar and
Yeah,
Jared
where
Golladay.
do you go from there?
Where
is
do
the
you
question.
go from there and make and my question, sorry, Brent, and that's what brought up the Brent Elliott thing
Yes.
to you was, how did the Brent Elliott thing come about, and what was that process like getting him to WhiskeyFest?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, man, we've had a great relationship with Four Roses. Not necessarily with Brent Elliott, obviously, but
Right.
more on the regional, local
Exactly,
level.
for the next 30 years.
They've taken care of us. You know, I know y'all know. I mean, they're definitely Four Roses single barrel store picks that hit the
Yes.
market, but they're not as plentiful as they just don't give those picks to anybody.
right.
It's we just had a great relationship with them. Jaylee, our sales rep in the Houston market, Cody Miller, our account rep with RNDC. That's Republic for the layman. You know, they were instrumental. Obviously, Mike Williams, leveraging those relationships that he has with them, and you know, as you know, we've done some major big buy-ins with Four Roses,
Yes,
and
we have.
which helps strengthen relationships.
No, absolutely.
and,
But it's good stuff. Like, it's not something that.
Oh no, it's
Like, it wasn't a crazy.
Yeah.
We're just gonna buy all this stuff.
No,
it's
we've-
stuff that sells. Like,
Well, and some of the bars that we service, you know, they're using Four Roses as their, I mean, let's call it a well bourbon.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to a bar, I hate to bring them up again, but Avenue Axe,
Yes.
Yeah,
that's your well bourbon is Four Roses yellow label. That's a
That's
good
pretty good.
bourbon.
That's a good bourbon.
Yeah,
Could be worse.
you know, it's not the one, you know, just because of the proof, I'm gonna gravitate to something a little bit higher proof.
Yeah.
and,
Of course,
and
yeah.
but to have that, and so look, we got a great relationship with those people, and again, Cody and Jaylee were very instrumental, and Brent being, I mean, I think once we got to be around him, just the little we
yeah.
got to be around him, but to see how he kind of let loose and was really having
Yeah.
a good time, he's just a good dude. There's
He
nothing
really was.
stuffy about him, and I think we think old white men in the bourbon business, you know, that.
but he was like
you know,
super cool.
No, he was super cool, and he liked the same stuff we liked.
Yeah.
And he was into the same. And
Yeah.
you could sit there and hold a conversation with him, and he came across as just as genuinely, you know, thankful for letting us letting him be a part of it, as we were for him taking the time to come from Kentucky to be there.
Yeah.
And so whenever you've got that kind of mutual back and forth that, you know, both were thankful, like it really special. And I hope he goes back and tells his tales and stories
Absolutely.
to the circle that he runs with up there. And
Man, I had this crazy beer down there. It was so good. Y'all got to go to Southeast Texas.
Southeast Texas.
but I just think it also gives us to me, it's just an overall testament of how this festival is different than other festivals, and it's the relationships that we have and that we leverage and utilize, and that we built off being honest and just good heart, you know, really trying to do better and make whether it's in Longhorn with the stores and trying to bring the community together and do some cool stuff over there, or with WhiskeyFest and the impact we can have on that side. I think everything we do is pretty genuine. And if anybody doesn't think that, I'd love to have a conversation with them, about that. And so as long as we can keep that spirit and keep attracting who's next, like I think any of those names y'all thrown out I think anything's possible. I honestly do, because
anything's possible.
I mean, outside of maybe having Donald Trump, which that's probably not that. I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's not where I was going with that conversation, but okay.
Yeah,
it's a different conversation.
Let's
table that for now.
I honestly think anybody in the whiskey world it's possible.
Well, no, my whole thought when you said,
and I'm not talking 1 year,
right?
But like just long term, over the next 10 years, who could we possibly have at this festival?
Right.
I honestly think that's anybody you can think of.
Well, being as anything's possible.
In the whiskey world.
In the whiskey world. Here's my dream. I want to see this before I die.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I would like to see.
Well, that depends on your health.
Well, it's not real good because I'm fat, first of all. So I would love to see a Longhorn Liquor Functional Gentleman collaboration at some point.
Yeah.
That's what you asked for?
That's it. That's what I asked for. Damn it.
Yeah.
That's what I asked for.
We may have missed the mark already and we could have capitalized upon, but I do think that's I think that's very possible.
Very good.
I'll
take it.
I think that's just coming together and any time that can cross. I mean, I've been working with in like Reserve 101 out of Houston, right. Sean over there, and we're going to become one of his retailers for a lot of. He gets a lot of following for the picks they do through that through that bar, and so we're going to do a lot of. You'll be able to find his picks at Longhorn Liquor in our Heights location,
I've heard they're fantastic.
Man, he's and I think you were maybe in the van with me the other day on a conversation I was having with Sean, and he's just he's very real dude, and just.
How does that work when you're on the van? You have like a booster seat for him or something? I mean, how does that shit work?
Phone books.
Yeah. Phone books.
I'm old school.
There you go.
That's right, because there was a pick that he said, and my ears perked up. Yeah. But I've heard. So I didn't realize it after we had that conversation, or I listened to the conversation. I looked, and I've been following Reserve 101 on Facebook and Instagram for like a year.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but I've heard pretty great things.
I know someone who can make potato sticker for that. Yeah. So, but kind of, I know I go off on tangents sometimes, but getting back to I really do think that anybody's possible, and more along the lines of what you're thinking is not necessarily, like kind of set this bar to like, well, how big of a level of name? I don't want to think it like to me. All these people are important, and everybody getting back to like a Paul Hansen that is Four Roses. Like, there's a lot of people that was at WhiskeyFest that don't know who Brent Elliott is,
right?
But there's people there that would. Like last year, much rather see Adonis Todd than a Brent Elliott.
And that was part of what we talked about.
Right. And so there's so many to have all these different people involved. I just want to see more of them come together.
Yeah.
Where, force us to put together like this Friday afternoon, like almost media session.
Yeah.
Where like we have all these distinguished guests from all these different distilleries, and we have a Q&A session, let people in, and just different things we can do to take advantage of these people.
With microphones and sound equipment.
Yeah, but and just spitballing here, but I mean, I can't tell you where this event's headed.
I don't think
I like.
That's the cool thing.
I like the trajectory.
Yeah,
everybody knows where it's going from here.
Yeah,
that's what's great.
I like the trajectory, but if anybody knows Mike Williams, he's very much a like glass half full type guy. I mean, like, hey, let's do it. He's not scared to go after something, put it out there, and try to separate.
That's what I love about
everything we do. everything we do, we're trying to separate ourselves from everybody else and do things differently.
Let me ask it from a different point of view, because my wife was the one that said Nancy Fraley, because she knows how big of a fan I am and of her blending and her story and everything. And my response, of course, was, well, I can't do this for selfish reasons as much as I would love to have her there.
Right.
And I think she would be a great guest. But so think of it selfishly for 30 seconds. Who would be your...
Oh.
And it doesn't have to be a big name. It doesn't have to be...
Jared Hempstead.
From...
Balcones.
Yeah.
My man.
100%. Like,
So-
I mean, I think that guy's, like, just so interesting. I think
I got to get out to Wake.
I love, like, what RD1's doing, like,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff like that. And a lot of people are starting to brace finish. But Balcones was, like, they were the ones that were bringing the funk.
I still tell
To
everybody
me, like,
to this
and again,
day.
there's people in this chat that have been around whiskey longer than I have. You know, how I found my way to to being this involved in whiskey is always beyond me and a blessing. But yeah, Jared Hempstead to me is like the Aaron Franklin. We're talking barbecue. I want to meet Aaron Franklin. I'm not saying Franklin's is absolutely the best barbecue.
I want to meet the guy from Meat Church.
But
yes,
you know, but yeah, that's who
the inner fat child in me likes barbecue.
So you brought up Balcones, and sadly they weren't there this year.
No,
There were Andalusia wasn't there. Our man,
either.
Madman Mario.
Yeah,
I didn't get to hang out with Mario.
Missed both of those.
I think-
There were a couple, and it's good to have a mix. Like we lost two, and we gained Bent and Iron Root
Yes.
in 1845,
Yes.
and Augusta. Like we gained people.
You had Calumet there. Calumet was
Calumet was
good
out
stuff.
there. But so, in your opinion, like, what was your thought whenever you found out Balcones wasn't going to be out there, or Andalusia wasn't
it
going to be out
doesn't.
there?
I think it's a great opportunity for some. I honestly think that. Like, I wasn't, again, from a selfish, like, I love Andalusia, I love Balcones, but I'm not really out there at that event.
No, you're
you know what I'm
right.
saying? And so, I mean, I'm there, but I'm not there.
You're there, but you're not
Yeah.
there.
And so I think it's a great opportunity for other brands to get in there. You know, Balcones reached out to me already since WhiskeyFest, and me and Mario had talked and understood where they were at for this year, and they said they'd love to, you know, possibly be back in 2026, and that's great. You know,
They just underwent like a pretty big expansion out there.
yeah, and everybody's in a different place,
Yeah,
and I mean,
absolutely.
it's easy, and I appreciate the support, like people like Jamie Bell over at Brown Foreman, what they do,
Oh my gosh, I know it.
and Beam Suntory, and I think that's one thing that makes our event great is I think y'all probably been to some events where, you know, some of those big guys aren't always a part of some of those other festivals, so to have that mix, something Roy brought up earlier, to have that mix of the craft and the big boys, so to speak.
I love that mix that y'all do with the craft.
Well,
and-
Yes, but I think a healthy amount of turnover is necessary each year
I
to
think
keep
so.
it fresh. And
It's funny, like, you don't realize, and I think people maybe even in the comments and that are part of our little, especially like our little FG family and community and the world you're in and all of this, like, you don't realize the names that are out there. So like, I've already mentioned Marlene from My Lemon Green. We had Brent Elliott, obviously. We had Barry, but like I was telling Roy, the master distiller from Bent was there. And I don't think people realize
Nobody
that.
knew it. He flew
Summer
under the
Sanford, who
radar.
runs the
Women's Whiskey
Women's
Society,
Whiskey
she was
Society
out.
out of Houston, she was there. Nick and Greg, owners of Texas Tell,
Those guys are fantastic.
were there. Like,
Yeah.
there's names there that are just like flying under the radar.
Yeah.
That if you stop and talk to them and you go, holy crap, like, I just figured you were a pourer or a rep or whatever. Even some of the reps we have that actually work for these distillers. Like, I told Jessie with Old Elk after she did her little master class and tasting, I was like, you're an absolute rock star.
By the way,
Yeah.
still waiting on my 3X jacket.
But she was like, she killed that class.
Yes, that
and
class
her
was
booth
really good.
stayed
Yes.
packed. And
Yeah.
if you just listen to her talk, like, that
She's
chick
very-
is a rock star.
She's very
Yeah.
passionate about what
That's
they're
what-
doing at Old Elk.
and I appreciate any vendor that participates.
Absolutely.
We do have some vendors out there that, the booths are pretty heavily ran by like tasting girls or whatever. Like, I like to have somebody, whether it's a sales rep or somebody from the distillery, people that really have a passion about the brand that they're talking about. And I think that comes off. And luckily we have a lot of that. And
we do have a lot of it.
So, but yeah, I don't, I think next year, probably a little bit more turnover just to keep things fresh. And I
can't believe people are still talking about that hazmat rumble.
That hazmat rumble was a good one.
Yeah.
Dude, that was what, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm. It came out early last year.
Was that okay?
Yeah, early last year. And no, I take that back. No, you're right. It was 23. We didn't do a pick with Balcones in 24, but a lot of that's Balcones is they're joining down to just pretty much getting into single malt production because we were offered multiple barrels every time we went. We got some stock on some stuff, exceptional Balcones bottles, and but look forward to getting back out there, and look forward to I know it will happen soon because the Still Austin picks do so well in the market, but me personally getting out to Still Austin, I haven't been able to engage with too many of those guys outside of, obviously Jeff, love Jeff to death, and James, one of the Houston guys, but
Christian's a freaking rock star.
But yeah,
and
never.
Of course, you can't forget the El Whiskalero himself.
Oh,
that dude's a rock
That's
star.
My brother.
Too.
That's
but getting back out there, seeing Ty over at Andalusia and spending some more time out at Garrison Brothers and hoping more and more pop up, man.
Speaking of rock stars, Elena, freaking rock star, man.
And her and like Nick,
and Nick. Oh my!
Like
gosh,
I will say, another
thing
that I think a trend we saw this year was even more, and it was more. Year 1 to year 2, it grew, and obviously year 3 was like people really doing the cocktails and doing some cool stuff. We had more female participation year 3 than we did year 2, which is encouraging for me. I want this to be a all-inclusive event where husband, wife, spouse, whatever however, just we want everybody to feel welcome and that there's something for everybody to do out there at WhiskeyFest, and it's kind of grown. And I know we've had these conversations of whether is that even a name that we feel like still encompasses what we set out to kind of achieve with this. And I don't think I'd ever change the name. I love the name. And
that's always at the core. But I think whiskey will be at the core of it.
For sure.
We're absolutely growing.
Yeah, it's like we talked about earlier. My wife getting onto that was it honey apple redneck Riviera or whatever. She's not a whiskey person.
So the wives of our little group, Jake, Blythe, Roy, myself, they obviously ran together all night long.
Of course.
By the end of the night, once we all kind of settled down and got to Pour 09 and kind of were hanging out, they complimented so many booths and the cocktails and the effort they put in to include a growing female.
There it is right there. Texas Still had the best mixed cocktails.
They did. That one. Yeah. Dana had a little glass of it, and I got a little glass right at the end.
The pink one.
No, it was like a cucumber jalapeno
Yeah,
vodka.
that was a good one. That was a good one.
Chiller thing. It's absolutely amazing. But what I wanted to tell you, so before it kicked off, like after our show, and I was there,
and it did.
There was a guy setting up. It was a Texas whiskey brand at the very end of the first aisle. Where our loading dock, he was right there. I can't remember but he had a gin cocktail. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What?
I said it.
You don't like gin?
A gin cocktail was
I'm
fantastic.
I'm trying to think of who it was.
God. You don't like gin.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
It was good.
Yeah. He's a good mixologist.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But no, and that was one of the compliments we got from the wives was there was so much for us to enjoy.
Yes. Yeah, so maybe at some point Southeast Texas WhiskeyFest and more.
And more.
And more.
Etc.
Et cetera. Yeah. maybe, but I think people that are in the know already know that.
Oh yeah,
it's not just.
But I mean, even like whenever we were doing a show leading up to Whiskey Fest here one night, I ran through because it was right after I made like all the slides for Saturday night, and I was running through a lot of the distilleries that were going to be there to kind of give people a preview. The number of Scotch.
Yeah.
Yes, the Scotch number one.
That got commented on a lot. Like, holy crap, there seems like there's more Scotch booths this year, or single malt booths, or whatever you want to say. But that was a big compliment. The number of like tequilas or mezcal or like at the core, it's always going to be Whiskey Fest. But the amount of people and places that want to be a part of this, like we had Whiskey and Sparkle out there this year.
Yeah, the boutique.
The boutique that was out there.
It's like a big party with just a massive open bar.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like Mardi Gras without all the drunken foolery.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great, it's turning into just a great freaking time.
Yeah. Yeah, whiskey, you don't even have to like whiskey. You can hate whiskey, and you're going to come out, and I promise you're going to have a great time.
I know the one disappointment we experienced, and I say Silver Star did not have their plenty whiskey. Oh, my God. Yeah. My wife
complained. They had, the bear glass last year.
They had the bear last year,
because Miss Wendy asked me about that.
Yeah.
That was the first thing she asked Saturday whenever I got there. She was like, hey, who had that bear last year? And I was like, Silver Star. She's like, they better be here. I was like, okay, I don't know. Oh my gosh, Dana beat me to it for Texas Tail cocktails. They're rocking it, man. They're doing some good stuff.
They're getting it out in Galveston.
But it's cool stuff like that. Like I got a chance to run over. Barry and Dr. Wood were out at the Dallin location doing a little bit of a tasting, and I got an opportunity to run over there real quick while we had a little break, and like I witnessed Barry talking to a customer that came in and was trying it. And they were having this awesome conversation. Like the customer was talking about they did this blind flight and they were tasting through everything, and he told him what ended up winning and he didn't expect it. And Barry didn't just have to talk about RD1.
Yeah.
He was like, you're right. That's really good bourbon. Like they talked about these different things, and then he kind of rotated back into how RD1 is bringing all of those things and what they're doing. Like, you can just tell he's one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got that picture from Mike of Brent just randomly popping into the Dallin location for a few minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, holy
crazy.
crap, that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the Texas Tail guys were out there doing a tasting. Like, everybody wants to just kind of be a part of it. And, like,
I was thinking,
that whole day's a vibe.
Like on Saturday, Brent went down to Avenue Axe
to
have lunch, and I was like, I can imagine who was there at the time, and they have no idea that this dude just walked, you know, like
right.
So it's it's surreal, but you know, I just think it's going to continue to grow like that, and we'll be able to bring really cool experiences to a lot of the people that.
Maybe that's the barrel pig. Maybe we need to Texas.
This thing is going to continue to evolve every year, from year to year to year to year.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to come up with all the solutions right now.
Well, no, I don't want
because a lot of the fun is a lot of the fun is the journey, you know, and
it is,
and seeing that growth from year to year, and so I don't want to miss out on that. I think we're on to something special. And
so philosophical.
I want to make sure
the steam come out of Dennis's ears. I don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah, and you know what like
I got a little glimpse of it this year.
It's high stress. I mean, and he's getting more, but like the liquor business, that is literally our busiest time. Like Christmas Day to New Year's Day, is
balls of the walls.
Is balls, and leading up to that, we were opening a new store end of November, 1st of December, and all this accumulating, and we, you know, to Saturday night, I'm glad when it's over.
Right.
But that's just, but at the same time, it's just, you know, big sigh of relief, but also rejoice that we were able to pull it off again.
Well, and I think a lot of that goes back to what you were talking about, the camaraderie, the people that we have out there. Mm-hmm. Because let's face it, we had I think we ended up calculating like right at 1,200 people show up to the event.
Well, yeah, that's tickets.
Yeah, just tickets alone. But
tickets.
Like,
I mean, paid for tickets.
If those people wanted to, they could have bum rushed the door and all ran in at 6 o'clock when the doors open for GA.
Yeah.
But every single one of them hanging out, again, having a great time. I went out and I videoed the line, and I posted that video in my fashion where it's like all sped up and then slowed down and blah, blah, blah. But like the people that were reaching out like, haha, I made the video. Check me out. Look, I'm in line. And like they genuinely enjoy that kind of stuff. Like that's fun for all of us.
Yeah.
And I love seeing those comments, or when people stop me in the store or whenever we're running around and they're like, saw your video, loved it, this, that, and the other. I got to make the video for once, or I saw myself, blah, blah, blah. Like,
I never make anything.
People don't have to enjoy that part of it, and they do.
I never make shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool that
I bet you make love.
Oh, my God.
We're not going to talk about that on there. We're so not talking about that.
There's rails, and then there's Mike Wright.
Yes, and Mike Wright's off the rails.
We are not on the rails anymore.
Nope, we're officially off.
I was just trying to bring him back up.
But I mean, that's really cool that the people that are standing.
I have enough anxiety without you trying to bring me back up. Okay, so
they do. They genuinely have a good time.
I'm a very busy man who tries to figure out other ways to be busy.
And real quick,
like how to be a part of the Longhorn team. That's what I need to figure out.
Because he's in the comments every night. Can we shout out War Wagon for being out there one more time?
Yes.
Oh, man.
They were shutting down
Connor and Michael and
they were shutting down War Wagon.
Lynn,
when I finally made it outside, and I was like, guys, I haven't been able to make it out here. Do you have like 2 seconds? And they were like, absolutely.
Yeah.
We walked up. He broke back out all of the cigars that he had out there, and he was like, well, what do you want? And I was like, I don't care. Pick me something. I love what y'all are doing.
Pick me out a winner, Bobby.
And his first question was, well, what's your favorite? And I was like, well, you're not going to have anything close to it. It's the Kentucky Fire Cured. And he was like,
hold my beer and watch this.
And he was like, I think it's not going to be anything like that, but I think you're going to enjoy this, this, and this. And I was like, I'll take all three of them. Thank you.
Yes.
And they did. They stopped breaking down and loading up to allow me to do that because I didn't have an opportunity. And that was really cool. But just shout out to them for being out there again and making it a great time outside.
I love the fact that they're there.
Music.
Hopefully that's something that continues is the War Wagon thing.
Oh, it's
I don't see why I wouldn't.
I jokingly said this the other day because did get that done with with Duhan for next year.
Yeah.
It's like it's set. Like outside set. We got Buxton.
Buxton's back.
We got War Wagon,
and
we got Andrew Duhan.
You're done.
It's
Yes.
Outside's done.
Yeah.
All right. Good job, Mike.
Yeah. I'll see y'all next year.
Yeah. Exactly. You did your part.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Mike's like, I'm spent. Done.
It's a wild experience for sure.
Faux show. Do you have
of course
anything that you would like to add that we didn't ask about or talk about as far as WhiskeyFest goes? Anything you'd like to say on behalf of WhiskeyFest or?
Man, that's nothing that I haven't said 100 times since.
Oh, yeah.
It's everybody that and I think you actually put it best earlier. Like, just if everybody tells one other person that hasn't been, and just convince them, like just grab them by the ears, and like you've got to go to this event. It's look, general admissions, less than $100.
$100, $99.
Like
$99.
I've said this. Bucky
99
probably wants to punch me in the face. I've said this so much. I would go listen to the live music and drink Buxton's beer. I will give you $100 every night.
Take my money
if I can do that. Take my money. And like that, that's kind of the sideshow.
And it is.
You know, I mean, we're going to feed you, and people rave about the food every year. Like, it is legit food, and like, it's not bags of chips.
You
It's
can't
not-
take your
Yes,
family
Jake,
out
do not let
for the amount of food that you can put on a plate. You can't take your family out for that amount of money.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like Roy was saying earlier, getting the poor Pappy, like, if you get the VIP ticket, like,
That old rip.
the pours you're going to
swinging.
get, I think it's an unbelievable value.
That old rip was swinging like a 64 Impala in Houston, bro. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. That's exactly how it was swinging.
Yeah, I agree.
I think all we got to do is for people like, you know, we got to keep our heads on straight, stay humble, and like understand that there is growth to be had, and let's keep
my last call's kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, just on behalf of the Functional Gentlemen, thank y'all for letting us be.
Can you say that?
The-
You're kind of in the corporate role right now. Do I need to say this?
The third year in a row, I guess the quote unquote exclusive pregame show, giving everybody a little bit
We
of behind
are
the
the
scenes.
exclusive because nobody else was there.
It's always a ton of fun, and having, like you said, you know, being able to have Brent Elliott,
Mike's looking at me.
Barry
right now. It's
Brinegar,
like,
Jared Gollahue, and JD from Penelope,
No, I just
all at
smoked
once.
this like a cigarette. That wasn't.
That was not smart.
No bueno, sir.
But I mean, the fact that we had all three of those on in a less than 2 hour period was absolutely amazing. But it's always fun getting to set up and be the pregame show to give everybody a little behind the scenes look. And what I'll say on behalf of Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest and being a bigger part of that and growing with this festival, me personally, is a couple of y'all have mentioned it here in the last couple comments about as far as tickets.
Can't wait till next year.
Blythe mentioned it way earlier about
Yes.
go ahead and sign me up for
Money
tickets now.
Yes.
Follow along at SETx Whiskey Fest on Facebook and at SETx_whiskey on Instagram, because I promise there is going to be content. There's going to be information sooner, faster, better, bigger.
When's the clay
This year.
shoot?
September.
Yay!
But I'm telling you, you're going to want to follow along. You're going to want to get tickets. It's going to be big. It's going to be fun.
My shotgun's back from the manufacturer. I have to go pick it up tomorrow.
There you go.
It was 100% prepared and repaired.
Yeah, I want to thank
mean,
everybody for the support and obviously you guys and being able to come on and talk about it and be able to have you all part of that Saturday pregame
We love the
and
Saturdays.
You're welcome to come on. We're sorry.
Yes.
We're
Yes,
so
you're
sorry we didn't
welcome.
have you to come
You're
on this
welcome to
year.
yeah.
You're coming on in 2026.
Yes, 2026 we're making a Mike Right spot.
We're gonna have a Mike Wright window
Yes.
every
Yeah.
year. We're gonna put it on the schedule.
I'm gonna have a front-facing camera just following
Yeah, yeah,
everywhere I go.
everywhere
coming
you
off my
go.
hat. Like,
We'll put a mic in your ear so you can talk to us the whole time.
We have
Yeah.
that capability almost. We're almost there.
We can do it.
Lapels, they worked great.
That way,
Equipment,
Mike is
yes.
always on.
Always on.
yeah.
We may not like the
Let's
language. that
cut
comes
the
out,
mic.
but
Yeah, and we're going live to Mike.
And cut.
Cut his mic. Cut Mike's mic. Cut Mike's mic.
God dog it.
No, yeah, man, it's
Thank you. Yeah, we really do appreciate
25 came and went. It's we've already spent a week talking about 26.
Feel that whiskey in 9 months.
First meeting is
It's Eric.
less
Hey,
than 2
Eric.
weeks away,
Yep.
and
like it.
like
We're starting soon.
we're
It'll be big.
You need a
Yeah.
consultant. I know a guy.
yeah, I'm
He's on the cheap.
Tickets may go on sale earlier than you think.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I think we have a date.
we'll see.
He
Yeah.
said, he was like,
I mean, I don't disagree with it, but like
I'm just gonna keep pushing.
it's I'll say this.
I don't.
I think this one's going to sell out, and I think it's going to sell out fast.
I think so too.
And so hopefully, I know this year ticket sales are really good.
Yes.
But it's funny to watch the trend of people's buying habits and spending habits, and I'm probably the same way in a lot of regards. But just how many tickets we sold in the last 2 weeks,
I bet that
was insane.
Yeah.
And so Yeah, this year, and we had people miss out on the VIP tickets this year, and
I had many people reach out.
Yeah, and so that's one I wouldn't sleep on. I mean, they're going to go quickly. We're never going to turn this into a full VIP ticket event because that's what I hated about some of the other festivals I went to. Is everybody held a VIP ticket. So what's VIP about that?
Nothing.
You just all foolishly paid extra money for nothing.
Stand in line for the extra hour.
You know, our VIP tickets are less than half of the total ticket count, and it's not going to go beyond that.
Yeah,
so there's always going to be a premium to getting that ticket, and we're going to keep trying to deliver the value. And I think, like again, with what Roy's saying, if you see some of the pours that are available there,
yes.
It's pretty
worth the price.
It's pretty easy to quickly justify.
Oh, absolutely.
The extra money. So and also the fact that this year the only people that got into the classes were VIP ticket holders. So little bonus there.
Jake commented, "I always buy mine the moment they go on sale." So I got back-to-back text messages from Jake and Blythe. The moment we announced tickets were on sale, I immediately get a text from both of them going, "I was first. I bought the first ticket." I was like, "Well, I don't know which one of y'all bought the first. I don't know. I don't know." But they both are convinced that they bought the first ticket for WhiskeyFest 2025.
Dennis always buys the first one to make sure the system works.
Dennis buys the first one just to make sure shit's running right.
Other than Dennis.
Get in line, boys.
You're number two.
That's not very nice.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yeah, exactly.
God, that thing's heavy as shit.
But, real quick, one thing we didn't bring up is I want to thank all of the sponsors for this event.
Yes.
A lot of this wouldn't get put on without what they do for us as far as WhiskeyFest goes. They've stood behind, a lot of the sponsors have stood behind us for all 3 years, and just keep coming back and keep wanting this thing to be as big as we want it to be and as good as we want it to be.
Yeah.
You'll see their names throughout the evening on signs, on the slideshow that plays, because they are that big of a part of what we do, and we couldn't do it without them.
No, absolutely. It's there's a lot of moving parts to this event, and that's that Friday night dinner. The people that show up to that and the generosity that they show that night is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have a live auction, just a little peek behind the curtain with that. We have a live auction that we do every and that's sponsored dinner on Friday night.
But it's so much fun to watch that live auction because
this is a real auctioneer too, like guys.
Yeah,
this is
he goes
Scott
all
Jotty's legit.
Scott Jotty is
Yeah,
legit
Scott
as they
Jotty's
come.
legit.
Like so,
I've known Scott for
it's
years.
a spectacle in itself.
Yes.
Watching the crowd and like some of the wives and people that are there, like they get so excited whenever the wine went up for auction.
They get so competitive too.
They were like, "Honey, I'm not losing this," and I'm like dying.
Yeah,
and some of the guys are like starting to get competitive. Like, no,
yeah.
And Andrade takes full advantage. Like
Yes, he does.
I love it so much because he's like,
people.
and then he's like, "Well, what if we throw in a second one?" And you're like, "Whoa, whoa, slow down."
Yeah.
But it's so much fun to watch because everybody's having such a great time.
They are.
I mean,
great.
if y'all think secondary prices are ridiculous to pay for whiskey,
Sit through a Friday night auction. Secondary prices will be like, that's not that bad.
But it's so much fun. And you got to love it because every one of them is laughing and having a good time.
Oh, they're having a great time.
And they know they're supporting a great cause.
Yes.
Which at the very core of this is all about that logo that's behind Mike, Cure Rare Disease, and what they're doing and what it means to us as a family.
I didn't realize he did
see it.
See what?
If he moves, you can see the Cure Rare Disease.
You can see
he was
the
looking at the green screen.
Yeah. I'm just glad he had more than green. I'm waiting for him one time to wear green.
I promise you I don't think about it. So it's just, luckily I don't wear very much green.
There you go.
But and that's what it's all about is raising money for this. And that, like I said, is near and dear to all of our hearts with our relationship with the Williams family and what it means to them. So
and not just they showed for the first year. This first year I saw that video they played at the on that Friday night event. It was a pretty produced video that Cure Rare Disease put out. Mike Williams actually was featured in this video, kind of telling his story along with some other parents and other people affected. And he's
so funny.
I mean, that was pretty emotional to start with, just that video.
You saw the reaction from everybody at the Friday night dinner, because the video was playing and everybody's just kind of talking amongst themselves, and all of a sudden you hear Mike Williams' voice,
and
it's that you recognize it because it's somebody you know, and everybody goes, you see it, and it's like it clicks.
Yeah, that's when it gets real.
It's cool.
That's when it gets
real.
Cool
moment.
It's a very cool moment. Like I said, I got to watch him through the clay shoot. That was a cool moment. I wish I'd have been there Friday night, but I wasn't.
He obviously had it planned because he had written a speech.
Of course he did.
But he didn't tell nobody.
Yeah, at some point, I was going like, did I miss a text message?
Did I miss something?
I'm like almost all the way to the back, where the tables are where we're pouring. I'm almost back there, and I kind of see him and Mike standing there talking to each other, and I'm like, it's fine. They're just talking. That's what they do. And all of a sudden I hear, Bucky, you're gonna want to get this. I'm hit record and I'm running with my phone to go get it. I'm like, oh God, what's happening? Because I had no idea.
Yeah.
We hadn't discussed it. It wasn't part of the planning. And I'm like, what's happening?
You mean you're not?
And it throws him off because he's like, okay, this and this and this and this.
But in the moment, like the ability to realize, like, we need to capture this.
Bucky.
Yeah, it was. I was like, what? I didn't do it.
I felt like a news producer from like the 70s, like,
Bucky,
we got it. This is gold.
We have the footage.
Bucky, get in place.
It was such a good time.
And it's a lot of fun.
It is.
I mean, it's
hectic.
It's hectic. I wouldn't say stressful.
No,
like I'm not really
there's a lot going on.
A stressful type person,
No,
but it is chaos.
I look at it as controlled chaos.
Yeah,
with you guys.
Yeah,
that's the best way I can describe it. It's controlled chaos,
and it's like, for me personally, this is my first year having in this capacity.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I apologize to our entire group a million times about not being able to hang out more. Because I knew why they were there.
I didn't get an apology.
One of the cool parts of the nights was, like, as we were running around taking care of everything, like every now and then I would stop and see the group and I'd go, "Where's my wife?" And I would run over, give her a kiss, say I love you.
I took care of her
and hope you're having a good time. Like, it's just little stuff like that. Yeah. But, it's...
Jamie knows just to leave me alone. Right,
like, exactly. But I wanted
to... If I need to add Jamie into my group next
time. But I wanted to make it a point that, look, I haven't forgotten about y'all. Like, as hectic as tonight is, it's still a good time. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a great time, no matter what side you're on.
Yeah.
It was one of these days, maybe we're going to be able to perfect where we have fun both, you know.
Yes, right. Both.
So, throwing it and enjoying it.
You'll get there.
Raleigh, the brand rep I'm friends with from Bent, he had asked if he could get a Southeast Texas WhiskeyFest glass because he wanted to commemorate being there. So I go up front and I ask the volunteers that were up there, hey, can I get one? One of the vendors wants to take one home with him. So I had it in my hand, and I'm walking back through, and I walked down the middle, and I was going to cut across, and I had it in my hand. I look up, and Elena poured something from Garrison Brothers in it, and I'm like, crap, this was for Raleigh. So, and she's laughing. I can hear her laughing, and I look back, and she goes, just drink it. So I downed it real fast, and I was like, Raleigh, watch this whenever you get home. But it's funny stuff like that. You know, everybody's having a good time. But, yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, it's immediately get, hey, can we do this more than once a year?
Whoa. I
like that idea.
Whoa.
I like that idea.
Next week, I'm trying to love to get it together for this year, but a golf tournament.
Yeah, we've talked about a golf tournament.
To add to the play shoot.
Yeah.
And kind of give a couple,
pickleball,
2 or 3 events. That's been brought up.
Yes, you were, babe. Yes, you were. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to do a golf tournament. Just
her bestie didn't get tagged in that.
And the golf community is always really that's what you do with your buddies. You go and you go to the golf course and hang out for the day. But it'd be really fun.
If y'all don't see a trend here, I'm just trying to make events that I would enjoy.
Right. Exactly. Who cares? Have a good time.
Cornhole tournament.
We've talked about that too.
Man, I've been wanting to go to play at Beaumont Country Club. Hey, Mike, let's start a golf tournament.
Mike, let's do a golf tournament.
We're going to start a golf tournament because I want to go play over there. We're going to have Andrew Duhon because I enjoy going to shows and I don't get to go to enough of them.
Luckily, me and Mike have a lot of the same taste of music.
There you go. That's always a good thing.
And I'll be honest with you. I honestly feel like I just... anybody that watched Andrew Duhon Friday night, you had to be blown away by what they witnessed. 100%. I don't care if you went in there and all you listened to is rap or the scream metal stuff. Like, if you watched him and pay attention to what he was doing and his band, how tight they were.
Yeah.
And it's very lyrically driven music to begin with. Like, it's unbelievable.
They were tight like a tiger.
Obviously, I've done a lot of social media for us, and I put out footage, and I told multiple people.
Obviously.
Like, some of the work that I did as Andrew Duhon, because that was my first time ever seeing him.
Right.
Like, just being able to be that close and take some of the footage and some of the photos, and I showed Mike some of them that I got.
Are you going to learn to play a guitar? Is he going to let you sit in next year?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
But
just asking.
Just being able to do that and be that close to him and see... Like, in some of the pictures, you can just see that passion.
Yeah.
Like, that was some of the most fun I've had shooting content was with Andrew Duhon and his band. And sometimes they would eat it up because I'd get real fucking close. And, like, you could see it on their face, like...
Yeah.
Like
did they do the whole little
well, because he was playing the bass thing.
The stand-up bass.
Bass guitar?
No, it was a stand-up.
Stand-up. Okay. And he...
But you could... Like, I'd get real close and he'd be like...
Miles.
And, like, I would zoom in on the drummer and he'd be like... But it was fun.
It's the little things. Like, they know how to interact with the crowd.
Yeah.
They know, like, and we've talked about Pug on here before.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Pug's gotten really good at, like, it's almost his shows have turned into, like, half comedy, half music, and he's really good at it. Like, you can tell he's worked on it, and I know Pug, so I know he's probably watched hundreds and hours of comedians trying to perfect and work on that. But even Duhon is so natural.
Yeah.
But it's like everything, they really know how to grasp you and everybody that's probably listening, like, oh, man, these fucking guys, talk. But like, you had to be there.
That's part of the
and to
experience.
witness that in that moment, it was like incredible.
It was.
So, but
and working with the new offenders as we got closer and closer to the event, and I wanted to make sure people knew that who they were and they'd be like working with those guys and going back and forth in emails. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's freaking cool.
Yeah, and they're a completely different. I mean, they're rock your face off.
Yeah,
like they're good old Southern rock. And
I know we're wrapping up. I'm gonna step out real quick.
Yes, by all means, break the stick twice. He loves it.
So
yeah,
you look forward to year 4.
I always look forward to year 4.
Y'all gonna ride in style again?
I don't know yet. I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, prices have obviously went up. It's a little pricey this year.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big questions people like. Getting to and from.
Yeah.
WhiskeyFest, because we obviously want everybody to be responsible.
You want everybody responsible, no drinking and driving, all that. Yeah.
And that's I'm just so blessed that not only do we not have to deal with a lot of incidents at the event itself, but we don't hear about these events afterwards.
No,
where people, like, it seems like most people are genuinely know how to be responsible, and I'm thankful for that. So. But
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So last year when we did the recap show here, directly after WhiskeyFest, we announced this year's date. Do we have a date for 2026?
Yeah, January 10th.
January 10th, 2026.
Yeah, that's the Saturday show. Obviously, the sponsor show, January 9th.
Put it in your calendars.
Yeah.
Doing it now.
January 10th, 2026, year 4, Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest.
Yeah. Tickets on sale next week. No,
Heard
I'm
it here
joking.
first. Whoa! I got a lot of work to do.
JK.
Don't do that.
No, we'll
But yeah, January 10th,
But yeah,
2026.
and we'll be updating throughout the
Yeah.
year.
No, absolutely.
You'll be more, changes coming.
I
It's
just
going
think
to be good.
that's been a
And,
really cool part about the recap show is how quickly we know what the date is for the next year. And we're like, you heard it here first.
Yeah, it'll definitely be January 10th, and details to come, and
Yes.
buy them
Stay
tickets
tuned.
fast, and
Don't miss VIP.
We'll bring it into let's pour a little. You've already got something in your glass.
I poured a little bit
Yep.
while
I'm gonna,
we were all chit-chatting.
go ahead and fill some air for a second. I'm gonna open this little sample bottle.
Jake said bowling tournament.
Bowling tournament.
Shelly would be behind that too.
Shelly would be the ringleader, yes.
Yeah, I think Eric and Shelley both bowl.
Yeah.
Eric Bowles?
Eric Bowles, yes.
Yeah.
Are you a bowler, Eric?
Do you not know? Do you?
He
not know
is
your
a bowler.
friends?
I met him at a bowling alley one time.
Okay, I was just curious. You act like you didn't know.
I do know.
I like bowls of cereal.
Me too, man.
Have you ever bowled in your life?
Oh yeah.
Are you any good?
I've hit over 200 before.
Really?
Not
No.
me.
I didn't think so.
No, I suck.
I think maybe once, but yeah, you like 170 somewhere
Okay.
around there.
Pretty good at pickleball.
Yeah.
Are you?
A little bit.
All right.
I dabble.
I mean, I can roll the ball straight with a
So,
decent amount of velocity.
hear me
I'm
out.
not
Yes.
spinning.
What was that?
Not spinning it.
You're not spending it.
All right,
yes.
so hear me out. Obviously, a golf tournament makes sense.
Yes.
The clay shoot
Yes.
is already a big part of
Yes.
this. What if we did, and no copyright, trademark, whatever, like an ESPN 8, the Ocho, like weird sports benefit?
As long as
Like-
I can be cotton, we're good.
Cornhole,
Yes.
dodgeball,
Yes.
bowling,
Yes. Yes.
washers,
Yes.
pickleball.
Yes.
Like we make this whole, the Ocho.
If you're cotton,
Ideal.
I'm Jason Bateman.
There you
go.
There you go.
Like that, it could be a whole weekend tournament thing.
Can we call it the Nueve?
The Nueve.
Let's call it the Nueve. I like it because the Ocho's kind of
Right.
copyrighted.
Yeah.
You gotta come up with something else.
We can't do the Ocho, but we could do a whole weekend benefit for cure disease
I like it.
of obscure sports.
Yes.
Look, I'm down.
But you can only put together one team, and that one team
Has to do every
has to do
sport.
all of it: washers,
So,
bowling,
yes.
pickleball, cornhole,
Yes.
washers,
Cornhole, washers, pickleball,
dodgeball.
dodgeball.
Oh,
Like you put together, you get however many
Mike,
teams.
if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I can catch a ball and I can throw a ball. The moving out of the way of the ball may be an issue these days.
God.
But
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I think it would be fun.
I'll challenge anybody, cornhole and washers.
Heck yeah, man.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Man, yeah, I want to thank y'all and everybody
Oh, thank you.
having,
For sharing the dark arts.
glad that we get to do this every year, the recap show specifically, not all the other times I come on.
And you do come on a lot.
But, it's always fun to.
I'm looking at expansion to add him his own bedroom.
We got to get him
Man,
a gold
that-
jacket or a neon green jacket.
Yes. Can we do neon green jackets?
No, because you wouldn't be able to see it on
No,
the
I'm
green
talking about for like live events and shit.
screen. God. We'll
like
get you
it.
something that says like 400-time guest or
Yes.
something because you've been on here a bunch.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Yes.
It's always so much fun. But we couldn't do this without everybody that's tuned in and commented and been a part of this and came out to Whiskey Fest and lets us do what we do
Yeah, don't lose,
on
don't
Friday
lose
nights.
a finger, Chief.
Wouldn't be the
We
first
do it.
one. No.
We do it to have a bunch of fun, and y'all make it really fun.
Yes.
Oftentimes goes off the rails.
Shout the sponsors quickly.
No,
No? None of them?
I don't think we can do that right now.
Not even him?
Well, I work for them, so go buy your
Yeah.
liquor at Longhorn Liquor.
There you go.
There you go.
I don't think we're doing that right now. We hadn't seen much of nothing, so
No, of course not.
you show us some love, we show you some love.
Right.
How about that?
Okay. I like it.
Shout out Longhorn Liquor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Invoices in the mail.
But seriously, thank you, everybody. Ton of fun as always. Let's have a great weekend. Thank you for allowing me to work tomorrow and keeping me here for 3 hours.
I'm sleeping late.
But seriously,
If it helps, I'll be on the golf course. So
I'm
just joking.
no. But if you're ready
He'll be at
and you got one of them
he'll be
things,
at 5 under. I always have one of those things.
all right. Let's go, Frogger.
I feel Longhorn does a good example of this with the WhiskeyFest thing. Always bet on yourself.
Damn, that's the best one you've had of those, Roy. I like that one.
Well, I take it a step further because I carry a blank poker chip just for that reason. Always bet on yourself.
All right, y'all. Seriously, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. This has been a fun episode. All the comments have been absolutely amazing.
Yay!
We've been the Functional Gentlemen. You've been awesome.
I try.
You've been great.
He's good.
I've been me.
Yeah.
Y'all are freaking awesome. I'm going to try to make this thing turn back on while I just continue to ramble
Bilbo Baggins.
and hit the outro.
My tongue, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Pick you up and they look down on you. Take one loss.